Hello, Internet, and welcome to the 8th episode of Tales of Terragia. I am your Dungeon Master and Cosmic Tour Guide, Nick Santano, and I am joined by the 6th greatest player in all the 9 hells. Say hi, everybody!
Hi, everybody!
Fresh from Avernus, thank you guys for joining us. Took a long trip to get you guys here, but thank you so much for being here, back in the material plane. But
traffic is bad.
Yeah, it's always bad.
Welcome to LA.
Our gaggle of do-gooders
Yes.
had a bit of a scrape with another batch of these cultists at the Music Box Tavern. Though they put up quite a fight and got a couple of licks in, you were able to fend them off despite their monstrous mutations. It appears this cult does not just transform into big hulking beasts, but they can also take on more subtle and but no less dangerous changes. With Ingenue's blessing, or rather perhaps apathy, she let you leave all before any authority figures showed up. Slipping through the shadows of Port Elsewhere, you retreat back to the loose cannon, waiting to regroup and plot your next move. It's a tight space here. You make yourselves as comfortable as you can, settling in for the long rest. During the night, all is peaceful, all is quiet, until about 5 a.m., when Zakkai, during your watch, you hear a faint rattling sound as you kind of look across the room and you see Nik-Nak's mechanical companion Sledgehog in his more spherical form rattle and jostle a little bit. And one of those flaps that kind of keeps him closed starts to inch open as you see a few fingers try to claw their way out before, with a thud, that hand that was once attached to the chain, which is attached to that box, slowly starts to right itself and crawl itself across the floor. What are you doing?
I kick out awake. Big snort from Tem.
I'm gonna shape sand and try to kind of grab it while I physically get up and move to it.
Is it?
What's that? What is it? Tem's reaching for his staff.
The hand. It's moving.
It's just moving. Doesn't seem to have any sort of direction.
I'm gonna try to tackle it.
Grab it!
Make a sleight of hand check.
It's a 9.
You kind of leap at it and grab it and a bar of soap kind of squips. Sure. Squips.
I like it.
Right through your grip and lands on the floor and then just starts to.
What is squibbly little thing?
Squippery.
Grab it!
It squips in the
It's just moving in a straight line.
It got us. Wait.
Can I dash after it?
Wait.
Oh.
Let's see where it goes.
What?
Oh.
No.
It's going back to.
Well, I mean,
It's not attached to the chain.
No. Let's put a cup over it like it's a spider, and then
But maybe it'll lead us somewhere.
right.
I
but
kind
then
of
it
like
can
the leading us idea. Or do you want to keep? Do we have a big enough glass? We move the glass with the hand. Would that?
It doesn't look like he can go very. How fast is it going?
Well, where's it going?
Yeah. Well, okay.
It's slowly getting away.
I'm gonna get in front of the door so
I
it
can
can't
beat
leave
it in a
out
race.
through the door.
yeah, we're faster than it. I think
So
we'll be
it'll block
okay.
the door and be
Going
like,
to
you
the
can't
door?
get past me, little hand.
As you kind of run to the door to block it, it doesn't seem to be moving towards the door. It's just moving in a straight line from. If you follow the eye line in the direction it's heading, it just goes to the wall.
I'm gonna pick it up and turn its direction.
Yeah.
If the wall's here with the door on it, this.
So as if it's just.
Yeah.
What if it's being
I
called?
want to pick it up
somewhere?
and turn its
What if
direction to see if it just continues
What
to
if it's
go in a straight
Pick
line.
it up by the wrist and set it back down.
It's just going straight.
Not the smartest hand I've ever seen.
Oh.
That's
Is it-
useless.
Well, yeah. I don't
The-
think it'll lead us anywhere
that
in that
woman-
case.
Was dead, right? There's no.
Is it just going
Yeah.
back to the body?
Maybe she's not dead.
Can I
What happens
look
if
at
we just watch it continue going? Is it just
Is
gonna
it
bump into a
magical?
wall continuously,
It
or
seems to be kind
Is
of
it
crawling
a-
very slowly pulling itself across the floor.
Super slow.
I'll put on my goggles and
You
slowly
use
follow
magic
it for
as
10
well,
minutes
you use magic.
and turn it around if it looks like it's going to stop and see if I can identify it in any way.
Okay.
Yeah, would
Just like,
would identify
Well-
tell a spell if there's like a spell affecting it?
I think
or
it does,
It was
actually.
just identify a magic item
Let me
or
see.
something.
I think it does actually tell you if
I
there's a
almost
spell.
took detect magic.
Either way, I would help to try to
Zakkai,
see if there's like a spell or magic affecting the hand.
You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are.
Okay.
If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it.
Oh, that's even more useful than detect magic.
Should we ask Poppy for ice?
I don't know if Poppy started her
went
shift
home.
yet. She's
Yeah.
home.
What time is it?
Oh, she made me.
It barely daybreak.
It's
Very
like
early.
5 a.m.
Anara, Harmony, make a Arcana check.
That is totally cocked.
But it was almost a 20.
It was.
No.
That's so good.
22.
22. Watching it, it is a severed hand dragging itself across the ground. There's some magical effects definitely in place here. I'm not quite sure what it
There's
is.
definitely magic affecting this hand.
Wait, you saw
don't
it?
say.
What
You
sort
saw
of wild magic is this?
You saw it crawl out,
Yeah, it
Well,
like
it's currently
it, like
crawling.
but
like
out of
pe-
head
peeled
sledgehog?
open sledgehog and climbed out,
Like,
fell onto the
stab
ground.
it a little bit. Just
And then I
see if it
screamed.
like reacts to like pain at all. No.
Do we know where where in the city they bury bodies, keep bodies for?
It doesn't.
Well-
It seems to be just going in any direction it's placed. It's not
Yeah, it's just going straight.
following.
But maybe its owner is still alive.
And that is why I said we should follow it. But it's
So I
just
just
walking
put-
at the wall.
No,
and
wait,
then
hold on.
Right. So maybe we track down the body ourselves and try to reattach it,
Does my
or see
identify
if she's
spell
alive and we can question
capture
her.
anything?
More importantly.
Well, yeah. Obviously, hopefully she's alive.
Maybe we can just use this hand like a divining rod to find her.
if
Part of her is alive.
I'm depending on what the practice is here, maybe the bodies go to the Temple of Divine Repute for being treated, and then
Could
whatever
be.
burial services they give to.
We could go
Perhaps to the,
ask our old friend.
the constable place where the investigation is based.
That
Maybe
too.
the body could still be there.
Yeah, but
The
the
Centurion
heat is
Tower.
kind of
Cent-
on for us
Centurion.
right now too.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought maybe if
It's
I
not your fault. We were.
I didn't think they'd want to
taken by
arrest a
surprise.
victim of a crime.
We were taken by surprise. I also gave away too much information. We weren't expecting that.
Kind of like an egg timer, like one of the rims of your goggles kind of ding, and it kind of like hits the end. Your identify spell ends, and you identify that this object is under the control of the animate objects spell.
Somebody's controlling it with an animate object spell.
Wait, what?
I will
Nearby?
open the door and look
How?
out the corridor.
You kind of looked in, empty hallway.
I'm gonna go look out the window.
You kind of like look out the window.
Does someone have to be nearby to be using that
My
spell?
head will like pop up below him.
Can I do like an Arcana check to maybe
Somewhere.
identify a little bit more about that spell?
Do an Arcana check. Make a perception check as you look outside.
Can I help his Arcana check just to see, like, oh, I think I might have
As you
read.
suggested, you can make
Yeah.
it with advantage.
I might have read something about it.
Ooh, thank you.
Baby!
Nat 20, baby.
Ooh. 22.
22. You do know that the animate object spell you can do from a fair distance away, but not much more than like 100 feet.
They're definitely in the vicinity.
But they're not outside. They're not.
Then I have this corridor.
Is someone able to maybe check around the inn, around the building?
Someone
Somebody's making that
must
suggestion,
know.
Zakkai, as you kind of like open the window and kind of look around with a nat 20 perception.
Hell yeah!
For a total
Uh,
26, if that
You're
matters.
just scanning the streets. It's still, again, close to like 4:35 a.m. The city, for the most part, is still sleeping. You can kind of see in the distance the docks are starting to wake up. People are kind of moving and things out there. The sunrise has just started. There's a faint, like, kind of purple orangey hue to like the streets and everything. It gives you just enough light to see about 100 feet away down the road. You see a figure, yellow cloak, hood up, with like a scroll in one hand as there seemed to be like reading it, and with one hand kind of towards the loose cannon.
They're how far away?
Roughly 100 feet.
Ahead, and I'm gonna jump out the window.
Wait.
I'll
Can
jump
I-
out and follow him as
Can I-
soon as he can, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I lean out the window and just try to firebolt the scroll? It's 120 feet.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
Roll to hit.
Do it.
25.
25.
Wow.
You're able to
See
kind
a
of
fireball like
streak out this like little jet of fire that like races across the street and then impacts and hits that scroll, and the person immediately kind of like takes a step back and waves their hand to keep their sleeve from catching on fire as the scroll kind of lights up, and you'll kind of watch the hand drop to the floor or become invisible again.
job, Harmony.
Was there any? Did the figure look recognizable, or like the leader woman, or just the robes?
From this distance, all you can see is that is a person in a robe, but the color matches the same yellow that you've seen.
We gotta get him.
We gotta
I'm already
get
running.
out. We gotta
I'll,
get out of here.
I'll throw myself at and then through the window also.
Yeah, cool.
So I got these three running out outside. 3 of you staying in the room. What's going on?
Should we stay in here just in case? What if there's more of them
Well,
that actually
someone
come in here
someone has to guard Sledgehog.
I can be here with Sledgehog.
by yourself?
I can stay.
Well, maybe we should go after them too. They might need us.
I guess it's better to
How
not get
high up?
divided.
How did they get down?
I'm going down the stairs.
Yeah, how high up is it?
It's on
We're
the second floor.
Yeah, on the second floor.
I'm assuming we're
From
gonna
what you've
have a
seen at the
acrobatic
moment,
check
Harmony,
in
they've
our
all
future.
just thrown themselves out
I
the
know.
window in one way or another.
I feel like
I'm walking.
I'd be okay.
Why don't we?
You come
we'll,
down from
we'll
high
take
distances
up
all the time.
The rear.
We'll take up the rear.
Yeah.
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 We'll meet you guys there.
Leave the room with Sledgehog.
We'll
heading
take the
out
stairs
downstairs.
Taking the stairs. Alright. Out's team window.
Team
As you all kind
window.
of like scuttle out the window. There is like a very once you exit the actual frame, there's only maybe 4 or 5 feet of kind of gently slanted kind of roof shingle before it ends. You're on top of like a sort of bay window on the floor beneath you. So there is like a little bit of a landing, but then about a 15-foot drop before the ground floor.
Can I take an aim with my leg and cast Eldritch Blast at him?
At the person? Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll the hit.
Can't get away from me. That would be a 14.
You see, they kind of like, as soon as the scroll went up in flames, they kind of took a step back and look, and they kind of turned to start running. And as they turn their back, that Eldritch Blast hits them right in the square of their back, and they kind of like stumble forward and fall a little bit. Roll damage.
That'll be 9 damage.
Nice.
Sick.
9 damage. All right.
And then I guess so you said that there's kind of like a balcony there right before, still jumping off further to pursue.
From where you are, there's the open window, and then like only like maybe 2 or 3.5 feet of like slanted roof shingles before the building ends. You're
Oh, okay.
like on top of a bay window that sort of has like that extends out from the wall a little bit. So you're on that roof.
Okay,
It's
so
like
I will take at least that roof shot.
shallow kind of angle thing, and then it drops another 15.
Yeah, about 15 feet.
Okay, so then I'll take that roof shot. So then the two of them will continue shooting past.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
Anara and Zakkai.
Yeah,
what
I'm
do you do?
gonna scale down. I have a lot of experience going up and down buildings, so I'm just gonna kind of like throw myself through the window, go down the like couple feet bay, and then like use my sickles to like hook as I like kind of like flip around and then shimmy down the side and take off like a bullet.
I'm just going right off the edge. I'm going to try and land in a roll.
Give me an acrobatics check.
That is a dirty 20.
That's actually surprisingly low for you, Anara.
Yeah.
Acrobatics Anara check.
Oh, sorry, 21.
That's more like it.
So long as
That's
we're
more like
over 20, that's
That's right.
But before we all start running down the stairs, I want to cast Mage Hand and pick up the Hand.
The hand.
With the hand.
Just the hand with the other hand.
Yeah.
Got it.
Nice.
So you're kind of like heading downstairs, kind of moving past the people that are coming up the stairs on their way, like, oh, sorry, and they kind of like step aside, and there's a moment where somebody's like, similar to you, Tem, like on the bigger side, like, oh, they're not quite sure, there's that little dance where you're not quite sure who's going in which direction.
Where we both take up kind of the whole staircase.
But eventually, three of you get down to the ground floor. Outside Tem, you're a bit faster. So that person got hit with the Eldritch Blast, and they look severely injured, but they're getting back up. What are the three of you doing before the rest of you arrive?
I'm trying to reach them as fast as possible.
Alright.
So whatever
Step of the
dashing.
wind.
Step of the wind.
Actually, I was hoping to then from the roof to have waited for a ground team to have then landed on Sledgehog to then like run with him like rolling style together, kind of as a squad unit.
Awesome.
Because I didn't want to leave
We love
Nik-Nak behind.
a circus.
Yeah,
performance.
basically.
Amazing. Zakkai and Anara, especially with your Step of the Wind, you are like kind of like just booking it before you feel a faint breeze as a purple blur is kind of move right past you.
God damn it.
Alright, with that movement, you're getting pretty close to them. They are kind of like staggering a little bit. I'll say that you get there, and you're about 15 feet away before everyone else sort of exits the building. I'll give you any last chance to do a simple action, something.
I will I will attack with the raven feather dart.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll the hit. As Anara kind of like flicks her arm, the ink on her arm kind of like travels down it before it
26.
becomes a dart and nails this fucking guy apparently. Go ahead and roll damage.
Neck.
This will they'll need to make a Constitution saving throw as well. That's 6 points of piercing damage. No, sorry, 7 points of piercing damage.
Their constitution was a 3.
So they are poisoned. So so the dart as it hits releases a splatter of like dark ink that means that it kind of seeps into their skin and the creature becomes poisoned until the end of its next turn.
They get hit by that dart and kind of into that faint grunt as they like stumble and kind of like hit the wall of that street corner. Inside team, you're finally able to get outside.
Excellent.
And Basil drops from the ceiling and lands on top of Sledgehog. What are you doing? And you see about halfway between you and Anara, Zakkai is still like running on his way there. A little bit
Catch
more
up.
halfway.
Let's go.
Can I just look around really quick and make sure that there's no one in the streets that's like watching us like chase down this person?
Okay. No, I'll say
Specifically guards, I guess.
Yeah, no check required. You kind of look down.
Okay.
The street is pretty empty in either direction for a good 60 feet before you see a couple like early morning, stragglers or people kind of just entering or coming into, but no one within a good 16-foot radius.
Okay,
Catch
let's go.
Catch up. Go.
Just pretend like we're going for an early morning
Constitutional.
Just a delivery
Yeah.
service.
I'll call back over to Zakkai and say, help me restrain.
Giant.
Take you so long.
You're so fast.
I'm
You're
just
so fast, Anara.
Okay, team, we're getting in shape. We're just going for a jog.
I got here as fast as I could.
I'm gonna jump up on Tem's shoulders.
Not cheating.
I'm only little.
High knees.
Smarter, not harder.
If
Something could tell me.
I'm able to close, I will try and grapple this person. I'm not good at grappling particularly, but I'm going to try a grapple.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a strength check. Or,
I think it's a straight strength.
strength.
I don't think it makes any
Or
difference.
athletics.
Athletics.
Yeah.
Is it strength athletics
Yeah.
or just
Pretty sure it's athletics.
Can I help? I want to cast mold earth to make the earth under their feet. I don't know, trip them up so that when Anara's trying to restrain, they have a harder time.
Yes, you make a athletics check with advantage.
8.
As you kind of like leap out and grab them.
As I realize that it's not really working really well, I'm gonna just reach back into my memories that are all jumbled up, and you hear Anara talking in a really weird voice. It's like, get the wrist, get it behind it. You got to grab the wrist. Got to grab the wrist. It's a weird voice. You've never heard it before.
Yeah.
It's like completely different from her accent or anything, and it's like her eyes are just sort of weirdly like she's absent.
That kind of makes Zakkai like hesitate a second in his like.
Almost like someone
in his
else's
step,
else's voice is coming through her mouth as she's talking to herself through this grapple, and we'll use the knowledge from a past life from
Absolutely,
this
bro.
particular character.
Add it to the grapple check.
I'm going to use 2 uses of it to add 9 to it to make it a 17.
17.
Nice.
Wow. Fully changed that.
Yeah.
Absolutely, kind of like reach up and kind of go out. It's your first like attempt misses.
Completely misses, and then it's almost as like some other mind infuses her. She's like, grab the wrist, put it behind the back.
The man is able to sort of like get away, but just for a moment, as their like feet kind of turn, there's that faint like kind of scrape as their boot kind of only meets like a fine layer of like sand between that and the gravel. As they sort of Tom and Jerry run for a moment, as their feet just sort of like move with no actual traction before they kind of like are able, and that's just enough time for you to like reach out and indeed fingers snatch at their wrist, and you feel a faint like pressure point exactly where you know it is. I'm not quite sure how you know it is, but it's there. Press it slightly, and it's just enough to kind of trip him up and freeze him. You've got him.
So as Zakkai arrives, I look up and go, Sir, can you help me?
What? Anara?
He snaps back, and it's like Anara again.
Are you?
I got him!
What? Okay. Are you...
I'm immediately trying to pull away.
And I'm
Too early for this.
It's all about
Right,
posture. Good posture while you're running.
I'm gonna wrestle him still with.
You're not the
Anara.
one with
wrestle them.
the kobold on your back.
Do you have rope?
Yeah. I'm reaching my bag.
Get off me!
I start.
Try. Yeah, I'll kind of hold him.
Start
Between us, we'll try and sort of
tying
both
him.
hold him and restrain with rope, especially around his arms, so he's not able to cast a spell.
Yeah.
What does this person look like? It's a humanoid, you said?
Yeah, after you kind of like wrangled them down and kind of like are starting, the hood kind of falls away. You see that same person that was being led into the lighthouse just yesterday. That same sort of down on their luck looking man that you saw the woman with the staff lead into the lighthouse. Same gentleman, same guy.
I look at Zakkai.
Yeah.
You recognize him?
Yeah.
Get away from me! Get off of me! And
What do you-
He's trying to pull away from you.
Hey! Don't make us hurt you.
What were your instructions?
I don't have to tell you anything.
You don't have to, but it will go easier for you if you do.
I'm not gonna tell you anything.
I'm gonna pull out my sickle and just kind of like hold it up to him and be like, we can do this the easy way or the hard way.
He try a. Would it be a sleight of handshake? It's gonna be a. I'll just call it straight dexterity. You watch as you kind of like hold your sickle out to threaten him, and you've like tied his hands. He reaches out, puts his hand around the sickle, and pulls as it cuts the rope. And he turns over and tries to scramble away from you.
Slick. God, I'm just gonna like tackle him, put my weight on him, pull out my other sickle, and just like put it like between his shoulders so that he can't. I don't stab him, but like I put the point so that he feels that it's there between his shoulders. Stop it.
As I see that he's kind of like scrambling and trying to get away and stuff, it's 60 feet, so can I cast Dizzy on him as we're going?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're three of you are close enough now, or
Okay.
4 of you have gotten close enough now.
So it's intelligence.
I'll kind of scoot up next to where Zakkai is kind of holding him down, and I'll pull that new dagger out that I got. And I'll like kind of lean in next to his ear and put dagger right up next to his neck. Say, I'll prick you with this, and I'll always be able to find you. So stop struggling.
The save was a 13.
Oh, he failed. So if he, well, let's see, 6 psychic damage, and for the next kind of 6 or so seconds, if he moves, if he moves more than 5 feet, he has to make another dex save or he falls over. Or whatever.
I'm just trying to scare him.
You're freaking me out.
And he's like dazed right now, so maybe that helps.
Definitely does. As you kind of like pinning him down or whatever, putting the blade of the sickle up against his back, there's a moment where he just sort of like, again, tries to, threat aside, tries to like right himself and stand, but it's almost as if his like center of gravity or equilibrium is off as he tries to like take a few crawls before he just kind of slips as the dizzy takes effect.
You got him.
Before you guys also show up right about now.
Okay. All right. Can we?
You get him.
Good job,
Can we
team.
get off the road? Can we
Let's
get
bring
him?
back to the room if we can. We need to. It's the same one who went in with the
The man from the
Like,
Oh.
like pull him away into like an alleyway.
Yeah,
is.
get him into an
let's
alley.
go over. It's too early.
I'm just gonna re-secure his hands, and be like, all right, get up.
Is he bleeding at all yet?
Yes.
He is. Okay. And it's red.
No. I'm sorry. It is red, but there's it's more red than the people you fought last night. But
Okay,
it definitely
but
has been.
A tinge of
Tinge.
teal.
Yes, a little. Okay.
It's
maybe
not
it
as
takes-
the same red you would expect blood to be.
I think it's
Slightly darker.
proportional to how much they might take.
Maybe it takes time to.
Yeah. How far into the process?
Are we able to find an alleyway close enough that we can drag him into out of sight? I mean, I know there's not a lot of people around yet, but we want to be kind of away from any main road, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll say that you're able to kind of pull them into at least a little short kind of alley, about 30 feet long. Between two buildings.
To scare him from talking to us.
Can I like size
Tam, you're
this
big.
guy up at this
I
point?
have a
Like,
knife
see how like
with-
strong he kind of is.
Yeah,
or
but
Give
have
me a
you met
perception.
me?
Yeah.
He hasn't.
Gentle giant. Is that friend?
I can try. I can see.
19?
19. You're kind of like sizing the guy up ready. You've got like the giant
Because
set
he
of
seems
scissors
like
ready.
getting away from these guys still. He's well
Yeah.
enough.
You kind of roll up and kind of hop off of Sledgehog, ready with this like giant shear, ready to slash this guy. And he does definitely seem to be getting away. He's wily, but the more you look at him, there's very little difference between him and any other person on the street. If there is like any other sort of like beggar commoner or whatever, the guy doesn't match up hardly at all to them. The guy's probably got really low strength, really low dex, really low constitution. It's a pretty standard guy. To be fair, he has taken a few pretty decent hits and hasn't gone down.
Right.
But looking at him now, he is not to you a physical threat whatsoever.
Okay.
We
I
need
guess.
to get him to talk. Tell us why he's.
Look, we don't want to hurt you. We just
Get your hands off me! Help! Somebody help!
Look,
Console!
we don't want-
Console!
I'm gonna take my gun and jam it like into his mouth.
No, whoa.
All right,
He's gonna give us away.
look here.
And that's good. That actually kept my name quiet.
All right, sir. This cult that blackmailed you into letting them experiment on you, they don't care about you at all. We care about you more than they do. We're working on an antidote.
To help you.
We can help you if you give us some information.
You say antidote, and he acts like you threaten him with acid. He immediately pulls, trying to pull away.
I'm gonna pull out one of the blue vials. Is this what you want?
He reaches out for it. He tries to-
I
he's gonna try
don't.
to stop.
Okay, I'm gonna. All right.
Make a side hit.
Jesus.
Okay.
Oh fuck! He's no good.
He's still a strain, though, right?
He's still very much.
Yeah.
Okay,
I did
okay.
redo his hand.
He's
And I'm
doing
got-
these.
8.
8. It still beats him.
Okay.
Good job. Good job.
Pull out. He's reaching like this because his hands you have bound him, but he's trying to do one of those.
Calm down.
Wait,
down.
we
I'm gonna
you
pull
want
him back.
this? Answers.
The lifeblood. The lifeblood.
Tell us why.
I'm going to, as this is now happening, I'm going to cast Zone of Truth. And he has to make a charisma save.
I'll cast Ego Shock on him just before, so if he fails my save, he gets disadvantage on your save.
Okay. Yeah.
Is yours also?
Mine's a charisma save, yeah.
Harmony and I make eyes at each other, and then... Let's do it. Yeah.
Tag team!
First roll was a 16.
Oh, damn, he saves. It is a cantrip, I can keep doing it till he fails.
But I'll do it for...
Yeah, charisma.
Even though that's boring.
That is an 8.
Okay, that fails.
fuck it, It worked.
Yeah. And you see...
Harmony takes full credit.
Just
sounds like
around
that.
us
I'm
in
gonna
the
take full
alley,
credit.
you see a very faint, like, needle and thread, like, a whole sphere around us, and it's a, like, little, tiny, almost invisible to the naked eye, red glowing thread that surrounds us there.
Surrounds us?
Yeah, I mean, I centered it where
you said it.
we're all within 15 feet of him. I'm assuming at this point it's a 15 foot.
It would have to.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No,
we're
yeah.
all together now.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Everyone made Christmas saving
Yeah,
throws
yeah.
against Thames.
No!
Fucking natural 20. And I probably wouldn't lie anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't either.
Does a 3 save?
No. I fail my own as well too.
Christmas
So
save?
innocent.
Christmas
Yeah,
save.
save.
Okay, that is 4.
4.
3.
3.
22.
22.
So you saved.
I'm
Anyone
very
else save?
charming.
Yeah,
Harmony and
26.
Basil.
Did you save?
3.
3. Okay, cool. So then these two, and that's it.
Y'all?
Not very charismatic.
You're actually
The charismatic
Also
ones.
save.
Yeah, of course.
He
Yeah.
failed.
The cute ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
mean?
As this happens, I'm just gonna be like, everyone, speak carefully, but let's ask him what we need to know.
No one say, if I know correctly how the spell works, it's limited to a certain number of questions. No one say anything. Let's only talk to Tem, and we'll let Tem ask the questions. So we take, full advantage of this spell that we have right now.
It lasts for 10 minutes, and
Or is
He
it-
is-
It's not speak to Tem.
he is aware of the spell.
That's
Um,
Oh, okay, you're right, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it just lasts.
Oh,
So.
okay.
But he's aware. But he was also already a
As a-
Oh,
hostile.
that's true.
when
He's
we-
not
Yeah.
compelled.
He
He's not
was-
compelled.
yeah,
but
right,
he
right,
can't
right. He can't
straight up lie.
feel like
He can
compulsion
refuse to
tell
answer.
the
Yeah.
truth,
As,
so to speak. So we're aware that we are under the influence of
Those
some
that
kind
you
of
failed
magic.
are aware that you are compelled to speak the truth.
Yeah.
As he's restrained, I'm gonna tear off a piece of my my freaking scarf, and I'm going to wrap it around his wound and cast Lay on Hands to heal him of the wounds that I cast on him. Back up the.
Oh, and that would
the
get rid of the
full 10.
poison too, as well, right? Because he was poisoned.
I think he's only poisoned.
As a
For-
sign of good faith and to apologize for
around.
hurting him. 'Cause
Yes, I mean I think actually he can take an action to remove the condition
Oh,
because it's because of the ink that was on there.
I
so
see.
don't know if he
If you
chose
take an
do
action
that.
to wipe it away,
I see.
Yeah.
but it
As-
requires a full
Well,
action.
maybe he thought you healed him of the poison too, and that's another boon, right?
As he heals him, I will look at him and say, "We both know what just happened to both of us, so you know that I'm speaking the truth. This can go really well for you, or it can go really bad, and I have no qualms about pulling this trigger if you don't tell us what we need to know."
I don't know who you are.
Good point. Anyone else?
I'm very confused right now.
Who are you?
Kurt.
Kurt. And he's having a very
Struggling.
difficult time.
Mhm.
He's
Don't wanna hurt you,
trying
Kurt.
desperately to speak the truth, and he doesn't seem to know the answer.
Who sent you to cast this spell?
The what is this?
Pontifex.
Yes.
Pontifex?
Yep. Hard to say that word.
Why did they want?
Pontifex.
Why did they want the hand?
Why do you want the hand?
I was told to retrieve it.
Just the hand?
Yes.
Do you have the
And
rest
take
of them?
it
Of her?
where?
Of whatever the hand belongs to?
I do not know who the hand belongs to.
Where were you to take it?
The lighthouse.
What did they do to you? We saw you the other day, going in.
The lifeblood. They fed me the lifeblood.
Did you voluntarily go with them?
Yes.
This guy's crazy.
Where did they find you?
Again, he's like trying to answer.
I think
and he can't seem to.
They altered his memory somehow with this, it seems.
Could I try to check to see if it's like, does it seem like altered memory, or is it just some sort of like, maybe part of the like life or something? He just like can't really remember like his previous type of life or something.
Can I help with that? Since I was on kind of investigate.
15.
You can do it at
Should
advantage.
I quit?
18.
18. The more you kind of look at him, there doesn't, at least, the only thing that I'll give you for that, you know that there doesn't seem to be any sort of spell on him that's doing this. You don't detect any sort of like magic that is affecting his memory. Whatever is keeping him from remembering might be physical, chemical, something else.
Do we have a way to
How many people
rid
did you
him of
see
the
at the lighthouse when you were there?
toxin?
Not until we make an antidote.
8.
8.
I can
Maybe we give
I
him
can
to the
cast-
constables.
I can try and restore him somehow. I have access to some powers to get rid of conditions or diseases.
Yeah,
It's worth a shot.
I think
What do
we
you
should-
want? What do you want with me?
we should try it.
What do you want with this hand?
I don't know.
Well, what would you do if you get it?
Take it where it was asked for me.
How many of
Where's that?
To the
The lighthouse.
How many of you are there?
I am just me.
There were 8 more.
Yeah, you got us there.
That
What-
you saw at the lighthouse.
Oh, I see.
8.
Do you know anything about the nest?
Birds use nests.
Can you do,
Yeah.
can you
Not
do
wrong.
something about it?
I can
He
try.
does have
I
a
don't know.
He does have a point.
Maybe what Basil did was similar to this, so I don't know if it will really help.
Worth a shot.
Try to pull.
I'll try.
you're
It's
the-
my other
you're the
second level
cleric.
spell.
We don't want to hurt you.
I'm
sorry.
If I want to
We
burn
will.
through him, I guess.
Well,
I feel like he's pretty low down right now, and there's not
Nice.
much that we're gonna really get out of him, unfortunately. I don't think.
It's your call.
what are you gonna do if we
Your spell
let
list.
you go and you don't have the hand?
I will return to the lighthouse. Ask for another spell scroll.
That wasn't the
Well, how did you find us?
I was told to come here.
By who? The Pontifex?
The Pontifex.
So
Come-
Do you have a
know.
How
We
did they-
still know where we are.
What
To the
is
town square.
what does the
Cast a spell.
Pontifex look like?
Oh, they didn't say to go to a specific building?
Short. Man. Beard. Short hair. Yellow robes.
I'm gonna put my gun away and start rifling through his pockets to see if they gave him any kind of instructions or anything.
Make it as me.
Is he a human?
Yes. Yes.
Did they send any others out after us as well?
Many.
How did the Pontifex know where we were?
Didn't know. Just sent to the town square to cast the spell.
So he said, go to this general area and then cast it, and it'll lead you.
Did you see where we just came from?
He kind of points at the window you jumped out.
Cool, so
Can't go
Tie
back
him
there.
up and leave him?
He's clearly under some sort of brainwashing or
yeah, but is there any undoing that?
How far away is the constable like office citadel place?
just drop him on the doorstep.
That's what I'm saying. Drop the bag off.
He's seen us.
The constables are
They're already
Already
suspicious of us.
suspicious
Yeah,
of us.
yeah.
Well, the Centurion Tower, headquarters of for the constables and port elsewhere. I believe there was a constable that tried to bring it. I forget. DM's brain.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was just like last night. It was the checkpoint
Yeah.
constable was gonna try to bring me in.
Got it.
Talked to
We-
Maple.
Mabel Hill
I think we had
Highville.
passed by it though, maybe on
I don't
our way
remember if we passed it or
to
not.
the Temple of Divine Repute or the bookstore, because that's
It
kind of
was
in the
in-
center of town.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we passed by it or not, but
It was another
You've been
place
making
that
a map,
had books.
so-
Yeah. I don't remember
We
passing.
interacted with another constable who mentioned the tower.
Like taking one of us
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Well, how
So-
far is it from here?
You don't know?
Dead men do not speak of what they've seen.
But he doesn't
He
really
wasn't a
know
bad
what
guy
he's doing.
yesterday.
He wasn't actively attacking us either. He was clearly after us, but who knows what he would have done when he found us. What were your orders to do when you found us?
I did not have orders to find you.
He just needed to get the
He
hand.
just needed the
He just
hand.
animating the hand to get it back.
Why would they want the,
The
hand,
hand.
without
The
the
nest.
box? I don't think he knows though.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Can we just knock him out and leave him tied up somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we could knock him out and leave him here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened?
What happens when he wakes?
He's still tied up.
And then someone
We'll be
finds
able
him,
to
and
get
then
away.
he says that,
He points to our
Describes us.
location, describes us.
and that
But they
That's
already
what I
knew.
know.
They already knew about
Why not?
our location.
He would have killed us. They all would have killed us.
But he wasn't really trying to kill us. He was just sent with a scroll to get the hand. All he'll do is go back and say he didn't get it.
No, we'll go back, get another scroll. He just told us what he would do.
Yeah.
Get
But then
another
we just
scroll
go
and-
somewhere else. I
Well, he
guess.
wasn't
I
that
don't know.
hard.
By the way, I
to
got a 15 on my
be-
investigation.
It wasn't really hard to subdue him. It's not too.
Maybe they just should give him the hand.
Kurt,
It's one fear
how long does the
to
lifeblood
face
last
when we go back?
if you've taken it?
Mm.
Forever?
I do not know. Eternity. Eternity!
Does everyone else, do the people that you've met, do they drink it all the time, or have they only drank it one time?
I do not know.
You haven't met enough people?
I've only seen it drunk by one other and myself.
What happened to the other person?
They had dinner and went to their room.
Can't blame them for that, I
Are you sure I can't do this?
I don't know if there's any taking this thing out of him. He might be too late.
It's a permanent sort of situation.
guess. But we're not sure about that.
Yeah.
Unhand me!
Did it stop us from killing the others?
Well, they
It's
were
just a different
definitely
stage.
too gone.
These people are dangerous. We know that. We know that they're trying to create some sort of Titan-esque, powerful creature hybrid person. And we don't know if our guy Kurt here was on the way to that, or if there's any way to bring him back. So
Well, he's already said that if we let him go, he's just gonna go back to the tower.
We can't let him go. I will do this thing if no one else will.
Does anyone have a way to
Let's just lock him up and
To
give him to the constables.
change his memory or alter his mind somehow?
Oh,
Maybe we can.
I actually have something that could keep him in place for a long time.
So do I. I pull out the dagger.
He hasn't done anything bad yet.
I will take out some rope. And this rope will have like some. I'll start like putting like this copper wire like into the weave of the rope, and I will start casting snare. If we can get him in this, he'll be in it for 8 hours.
Great.
Then what?
Gives
Well,
us 8 hours to do something about all
Surely
of it.
by then one
You'll
of the
just get locked
constables
up.
will find him and
Yeah.
they'll hold him in a cell and then he won't be able to go back.
Yeah.
No cell will
And
hold us. We are
I
the
think
wardens
he's
of the
being
great
I think he's
prison.
being
Yes,
metaphorical.
All right,
Everywhere.
Kurt. All
Got
right.
it.
Heralds of the cleansing!
Yeah. Just
If we just tie him
Don't
up,
make this decision too easy for us.
his ranting will surely draw the attention of the
if
constables.
we leave him out on the
Shortly.
street.
Bring him back to the room. Leave him there. Maybe it wears off.
why back to our room?
So
Well,
he
if it
can't
wears off while
attract attention while he's just lying on the street.
But if he attracts attention, he'll just get arrested, presumably.
We don't want him talking to anyone.
No one will
about us.
listen to him when he's kind of just raving the way he is.
He has a
Take
level
that
of
chance.
lucidity, though. They might
I don't think we should
figure.
take that
Well,
chance.
I don't know if that's maybe because of the spell I just cast potentially too.
If you
He
were
was-
caught, what would you tell the constables?
Good question.
work smarter, not harder.
I was told not answer any questions. Just direct them that I am just a humble worshiper.
And he kind of gestures to the you see over the top of the rooftops you see the distant towers of the Temple of Divine Repute. And he kind of gestures vaguely.
Worshipper of who?
He kind of like scoffs a little bit.
No one.
See, he's just crazy.
He's,
Leave
he's,
him be.
he's gonna lie to them. Will you mention us to the constables?
Yes.
You're really gonna throw your life away, sir.
Like I said.
Tell the truth.
What do you all believe? Why are you doing this?
The cleansing, the heralds of the cleansing will usher in a new era.
How do they
He
want
said-
to do that?
I don't know.
No one. Tem's just gonna get real quiet. He's thinking real hard now. We'll circle back.
Unhand me!
Tries
So
to
great to
tug
Can we at least just knock him out for now?
Agreed. Can I just like take the back of my sword, just try to knock him out?
As he has 2 hit points remaining, I'll say that yes, you can non-lethally knock him out.
Great.
There, just
Or-
leave him be.
You know,
Taking a nap.
kind of slumps over, like alley.
Maybe we should just tie him up and put him in the sewers or something. Somewhere he won't be
Put him in a
found.
dumpster.
And then just let him starve to death? Like, what's the plan?
Well, we can come back.
Give him some food.
No,
No way,
Food, I can use
Sorceress,
breakfast.
Kill him.
Look,
He's one of them.
we've killed the others.
But
I'll
he
be
was
honest.
just a good guy yesterday.
I'll be honest, I'm leaning towards Anara.
I agree. Look,
Which is just another place to be.
I wanted to come
Nothing
save
to be afraid
this
of.
guy. I
But just
wanted.
lock him up.
This isn't from any
Wow.
like lack of care. I just think it's.
I don't know.
I don't know what other options we
I
have.
know we're in deep already, but this just feels so cruel.
Well, at the end of the day, he's clearly addicted to whatever this is. If he goes back, they'll just give him more, and he'll turn into this horrible monstrosity. Is that a fate better than death?
but should we be making that decision?
Can I do some kind of check based from my backstory and how he may or may not recover from an ingested like drug or whatever, like elixir or whatever this is?
You can make a history or medicine check.
Since we're on that, is there anything I learned from analyzing the liquid before that gave me that 30% progress I made?
Does it have diminishing properties?
Do I get any sense of its potency or its half-life or whatever? I mean, do I get the sense that it would expire?
At this point in your research, you do not know yet.
I got a nat 20
Natural 20.
on a medicine check for a total of 24.
24. I'll say it's good news and bad news in the sense that you are very well aware, and given where you come from and what you've been through, you're pretty familiar with addictive and kind of these sort of mind-altering substances. Looking at him and kind of like analyzing it, it's very different than Sutara, than anything that you've seen before. But there's a vaguely and unhappily level of familiarity to this, and it's to you. You've seen the effects of that drug on people over long periods of time, weeks, months. This man is acting as if he's been on something for years. Only compared to what you are familiar with.
Yeah. Everyone, like, I've seen people like this. this isn't good. This isn't some easy thing that he'll sleep off. It's not.
Maybe, what if someone at the temple could help him? We could just try one more thing.
Harmony, Tem. Leaving him like this is the cruelty.
I can see he's suffering.
I'll do it.
Did the guy that worked at the temple, was there anyone? He was like more just like a janitor kind of caretaker.
Yeah, he was like,
And there was no like priests or anything in there.
It was kind of self-service.
Yeah, it was sort of. You imagine that as you did kind of go in there, there are like little areas for like podiums or speakers to kind of go off of that probably have their own schedules or that. Like,
at 3:00, come in here. This person speaks.
So
you
I
imagine there are definitely priests and people and holy people that work and worship specific gods there. That most likely in a building like that sort of tend to their own little area, preach there, and then. Because it is a very kind of communal, public, multi-dimensional temple.
What if there's some sort of place of healing in the city? Maybe if it keeps happening to people, someone might want to know how to help, how to cure it. It's all very coming out as very like last ditch, sort of like maybe something.
Desperate.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's any cure for this man right now.
You can watch or you can go. I'll do it.
Before anyone does anything, I'm gonna take the rope off of him and put it into the bag of holding. See if my rope. Could be useful in.
Yeah, disguise or something.
I'm not angry or anything, but I'll go back and see you guys in the room.
Yeah, I will too. You can take the gambit, take the sacrifice.
I'll stay with you. No.
Tem is gonna stay as well.
So I'm gonna kneel down next to him.
Slingshot clamps up.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Basil.
And she'll lean down to him and say, "What they did to you is an abomination. But don't worry, where you are going right now, it is a perfectly fine place." And then I'll slit his throat.
It's a faint little splatter of reddish, tealish red on the ground. But he's gone.
He's in a better place now.
Yeah.
Any words you wish to say?
Yeah, Tem, as I improv this real quick, I do have
I thought you might.
some little words.
Did you stalk ceremony?
What?
No one has ever done that.
I'm gonna approach.
Everyone knows. Best spell in 5e.
Yeah.
Ceremony.
I have used it
Ceremony.
once, but we knew it was
We
coming.
knew it was
Yes.
coming. Yeah. What were
No,
you planning on having today?
If I
Who are you marrying?
mastermind, Tem will come and like relax the man's face.
Yeah, I'll
and,
stand up in a way and
yeah.
let Tem do his.
and
do his
he
thing.
will like kind of kneel down on the ground next to him and say, "May the kindred weft weave you back into the tapestry of unity." And like a soft little, just like around him, almost like a cocoon kind of threads, like silk threads, kind of just up and around and then fade away after.
That was very nice.
Not a good choice, but I think the only one that we really had.
I hate how wrapped up in all of this we are now. Like, this is obviously these people are bad, but this man did nothing other than be taken.
But he's the perfect example of why we have to keep going. We have to stop this. We can't let more innocent people get turned into this. I won't let it.
Well, clearly more people will be coming soon if they don't hear back now. I guess it's kind of reached the boiling point.
You guys can head back. I'll bury him.
I'll help.
Tem will leave.
It won't take me long.
As we're walking back, presumably ahead of them, and I'm going to turn to them both and go, look, I know neither of you wanted that to happen, but this feels like war. And in war, sometimes you have to make some hard decisions.
It's hard being the pawn sometimes.
I know.
We saw him as just an innocent person just yesterday. It seems so wrong.
It is wrong.
I feel like there just has to be a way to save him or save someone that happens to.
But there might be another person coming for this hand too, so we gotta think of something fast. What we gotta do next?
We've got one of the robes. It's
true.
not much, but it's something.
Do you ever just go back to the lighthouse and just try to find out more what they're doing? Or?
I think ultimately the road leads back there.
Well, if we ever were to just tip off the guard and tell them about the lighthouse, they'll at least the cult will at least have to leave that base. They won't be able to keep doing this for a little while if the constables are onto them and at least raid the lighthouse. Don't you think maybe we should finally just tell them to go there?
I personally don't have a great trust of authority. And besides, we don't really know a lot about what's going on in that lighthouse. If they get spooked, they could do something desperate.
They could even get hurt too.
But at least the constables have signed up to keep the city safe. At this point, they're just taking and hurting innocent people.
Yeah, but think about how long it took them. Did they even show up to the music box? They're not as great as you might think. They could not care. They might fuck it up. I say the less people that know about this, the easier it may be to handle.
That's true. They tried to arrest me and I said that I was a victim of the attack.
Yeah, see, authority, not always as smart as you might think.
Maybe you're right.
Tem will now rejoin, looking pretty sad and down. It's done. It's done.
Okay. Well, I guess we should decide what we're going to do next.
I feel like we've kind of reached a point of no return with this now. We need to see this out through to the end.
We definitely need to stop them now.
Yeah.
They're not going to stop hurting innocent people.
Diversion hasn't worked. Interrogation is not going to work. I think we need to infiltrate and dismantle from the inside.
At least maybe take down that big old Arcanium.
Yeah.
That'd be a good thing to
Yeah.
shut down.
Yeah.
That should stop up for a while.
Does Nik-Nak act like an admin?
Nat 27.
People never come back from it.
At the very least, if I can get back in there, I might be able to see what this machine is that's being powered, and I might be able to turn it off or sabotage it or something.
I think this is something that would definitely take some planning, and we probably need some resources or assistance or...
Wait.
I don't want to send just you in by yourself.
I'm not going in alone.
I thought that's what you said.
No!
That you would infiltrate.
We'll do it together.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no offense. I also saw how you guys infiltrated just a train.
It went great.
You helped. You didn't even have a fake
It's
ticket.
smooth sailing.
You got stopped just at the ticket check.
Yeah, but that's my point. You were able to get us help. You were able to get us where we needed
Well,
to
that's
be.
my point. I think we need all of us.
All of us should go. It seems like we're arguing over something that we're agreeing with.
No, this is good. We're not arguing. We're brainstorming. And I think we'll definitely need to plan and stock up
Same side.
on some more supplies, something that will help round out our abilities, maybe. Add to our arsenal.
Something I was just thinking is like we destroyed the machine, and they still got the guy.
They must have a stockpile or something. I mean, there was that room with the turbines.
So
Well, it seems like you can also just affect people by just drinking it.
And
so I don't know what the machine did differently unless they're just...
it could be an accelerator, right? Because there's different levels that these people are at. So maybe that's the way that they get the super, aggressive large mutations.
There's a lot we don't know, I think, about their experiments and their processes. Maybe we just gotta destroy the whole thing.
Can I just quickly ask, sorry, is this conversation happening on the way back?
Mm-hmm.
I guess so, yeah. I'm assuming the street is
I
still
wanna
empty because
have a
it's been
quick
like
look
10
at
minutes.
Zakkai when we come back after. So just
We're just kind of like walking and talking, but then starting to get more like, okay, yeah, maybe this, maybe that. We'll need to do this. I'm gonna
trying
make
to get more
I'm gonna make a
positive
list.
vibes. Yeah.
Pros
Okay.
and cons.
Yeah. So, well, I think it's a
Let's
lot
not
of
think about the
pros.
guy who's dead.
Yeah.
The cons are more just personal risk.
Okay.
But we're gonna need, we're gonna need to get supplies. We're gonna have to all sit down and sort of plan something. We've only got one robe. We'll need to figure some things out. We'll just wait for Zakkai and Anara to catch back up.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of, you two are still in the alley.
Mm-hmm.
Body was there in front of you.
you said it wouldn't take long for me to dig, or will
No.
you move the earth?
I'm gonna cast Pitfall, and a 10-foot hole opens
Oh
under
my
him
gosh.
as he. And then I'm just gonna start moving sand and filling it in and making the earth kind of just like topple over.
It just starts to fill itself in and sort of drown in sand a little bit as it kind of like refills itself.
I thought you just were fast at digging, but very good. I see you move the earth. Is this
Got a few tricks up my sleeve.
skill of your people?
My people. What does that even mean? I don't know. I just know that I can do it.
I appreciate your insight into the condition.
Yeah,
I think
it hits a little close to home, if I'm being honest.
it's not an easy thing to do, but he's in a better place.
Yeah, we did the right thing. I'm not gonna sleep well, but we did the right thing.
Me either. Let's head back.
You're just saying that because you don't sleep.
I sleep
You gotta start facing a wall, by the way.
differently.
The wide open eyes thing is a little freaky. We'll be heading back as we have this conversation.
Eventually, the six of you kind of reconvene either at the entrance of the loose cannon or up in the room. Totally up to you guys where you want to go in terms of planning, doing whatever you need to today.
6 o'clock in the morning now?
Yeah, it's pretty early.
Like 45 minutes, an hour, something like that. Since
Did I get my long rest?
Yes.
we did.
I did?
Yours.
Okay. I think
You guys, as much as I love this tiny little room of ours, I think they have scouts looking throughout the entire city for us. Maybe we should
go.
hoof it into the wilderness for just a day.
Back to our campsite, maybe?
near the lighthouse.
Keep an eye on the lighthouse, too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
On our way out of the city, we can grab anything we might need.
I think that's a good idea.
Do we
No,
need or want to talk to Kelm before we head out of town?
Maybe we can leave
if
them a
we
note.
still need more information,
Well,
or we can tell
at
him
this point-
where to find us.
if our goals are aligned, maybe
lay it
he'll
all
work
on the
with
table.
us.
Yeah. Do we
I
know
s-
for sure that he's not working with them or is on the opposite side?
He knows that we have something to do with interfering with whatever it is he's doing. Other than that,
If we want his help, we might have to prove to him that we trust him a little. So we might need to give him a little information to get him on our side.
I think that's fine. I think it's better to have him on our side than
Yeah.
to be fighting against another person that's probably doing something similar to what we're trying to do.
Why don't we leave him a note
Yeah.
that says, "We've got it, and meet us outside sort of like near where we're going to be hiding, so we can see him coming.
Do we know what he's looking for?
And do we want him to know that we have this powerful item?
We know only that he was looking for the person who initially owned this. He was waiting for her to arrive in the city. That is,
We can say we have information about her.
All we have to do is say that we found or have her hand. Right?
I mean,
he
we're
doesn't
looking
need to
for
know
her
we
too.
have the
If she's
box.
alive, we should definitely we need to find her.
I think we have a bargaining chip, and it's this rotted hand we're carrying around.
We might not even need to bargain with him. I think we can just work together and it'll help both of us.
You're looking for her too and trying to find out information. And then if that comes up, then that comes up.
I don't think we should trust this man.
I agree.
Just
Well,
you have a good nature.
we don't need to trust him completely, but we have at least this goal in common, and we can trust that.
We just need a conversation going.
Yeah.
Talk
Yeah.
before we divulge too much.
Yeah.
We need a
Hold
means of opening a conversation.
Hold our cards close to the chest.
Yes.
A little subterfuge. Play the game a little bit.
Kev starts like
keep
rubbing
our-
his temples. He's like, this is so stressful.
Games are fun.
So we can leave him a note.
Well, he's probably still sleeping. Why don't we just wake him up and talk to him?
I don't think he would appreciate that.
And his
Well,
last
he'd appreciate
his last
We'd
interaction.
appreciate
help.
the information we've got.
His last interaction with Anara
It's a
didn't
little
seem to
jumpy.
go so
He
well.
seemed a little stabby.
I think we need
Pull
to
the sword on.
approach him with caution.
Do we just eat breakfast and wait for him to also come down to eat breakfast?
Maybe we can give him breakfast.
We can still give him a pastry.
You mentioned, I believe, picking
Speaking
up
of, can I see any like
supplies.
carrots?
What do you have in mind that
The
you
households
need?
that
What-
Earl
what-
got from.
What do we need to
Yeah, thank you.
purchase before we leave the city?
Well,
I'm nervous
This is
about being in the city much longer with these people looking for us, the
I agree.
constables looking for us. We can't
Yeah.
hide
14.
the nest in a safe place. It's in Sledge, and that puts us all at risk.
Is anybody
And-
here able to disguise themselves at all?
I have at least the robes, and I probably have some disguisey items.
I have
just
a
wrap my like scarf around my head again. Just got him.
Maybe
Nail
in
it.
a
Wait,
Makes a turban of
Yeah,
scarf
yeah.
and ears.
I'm
I-
gonna tuck the ear back. There you go.
I guess I
There
meant
you
maybe in a
Oh,
more magically enhanced way
Oh,
that
Like
wasn't
shine my foot.
like to be like another person.
I'm not alone.
right. So
I
at
could
least
do that,
one of us.
but I didn't prepare for that today.
Well, we can stake out and maybe do that tomorrow. And also, we have to consider if they're looking for this actively and they need to be within,
Send someone else after
you know,
us.
like a mile or whatever. Maybe it's a good idea to get out of town as quickly as possible, and then Kiln can come find us if we leave him a note.
One
Will he?
Oh!
slight concern.
If he thinks we have the information he needs.
Maybe we could get your girlfriend to get us.
Not my girlfriend.
What? Really?
No, we just met. We
Well,
just-
it
Seems like you
only-
liked each other a
It was
lot.
only one date.
I think
though.
she's cool, but not.
And it did end in a giant battle, so
He thinks she's cool.
It was a good show.
Wow.
yeah, it was a good show. And
You don't
on a rough
break it to
note.
her easy, Zakkai.
Either way, it seemed like she really liked you, so maybe we write down a list of the things we need, and she comes
A real heart stopper.
drops it off.
We're not taking advantage of her.
Why?
She's a very nice girl.
You don't know anything about her.
And we saved her life. She owes us one.
She did almost
My only
die.
worry of
We shouldn't put her in any more.
It also might make her feel important. I
Bad.
know.
Yeah,
She's
the
super
the
into this.
campsite is it's very close to the
Mhm.
lighthouse, and so
Mhm.
any magical means they have of tracking the location of the object may reveal our location to them. We know they now
that's a
have
good
the
point.
ability to find the hand,
Yeah.
to find the box.
What if we rented a boat and just like a little houseboat and just went a little ways, just staying in the harbor, but
I think that is not a bad idea. Some was saying,
I don't think I can swim with this leg.
Yeah.
Maybe that is a little
Sledgehog
risky.
might not do too well either.
Oh.
Just
Okay.
sinks to the bottom
That's
after he
true.
falls
Sledge,
overboard.
we're gonna have to work on an
not the
adjustment for that
best.
later on.
Just
At
sinks
water.
down.
That seems the
sheepishly a little
opposite
bit.
of your
I'm pretty.
vibe,
I'm
yeah.
pretty dry most of the time.
Sorry to hear that.
Well,
Well, Sandy. Okay.
not everything.
All right, so hiding, that sounds good, except for the not swimming part. Hiding is becoming a bit of a problem.
We
can-
definitely need to get out of the city. Maybe
Yeah, we-
not quite as close to the lighthouse.
Yeah, maybe
That's
just a
good
little bit
point.
further out. A little bit further out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Maybe towards the lighthouse general direction, but not that close to the lighthouse.
I think whatever we do, I should get Sledgehog out of the city first. You guys can gather some things. I'll find a good place to hide.
Okay. What? I know you said infiltration. If we go with that type of plan, what kind of supplies would we need? Something to kind of help us escape? Some sort of
I thought when you
speed or
said we needed supplies, you had
teleporting?
supplies in mind.
Well, I don't know what type of plan we're going to go after. It depends on what we need to do. We'd probably need some sort of explosive if we're going to just
That sounds fun.
destroy
It's a
a
bow,
bunch of stuff.
Grappling hook,
Plan
a
first.
boomerang,
Uh,
shark
Here
repellent.
in the
I
world,
I would
we
like
got
to
four.
take out the robe from the bag of holding and cast Identify on it to see if it has any magical properties or if it's just mundane.
Oh, the cultist room.
Yeah.
You do put the goggles on, cast Identify. There's nothing magical about this room.
We could make a
Make
few of
some
these.
Tim, are you able to sew if we bought more fabric?
Absolutely. Yes.
You want to take
Yeah.
this with you and get a good
Okay.
match?
Sure. Yeah, I can do that.
You
I'll
never
come with
know.
you.
Potentially, where if there's only one fabric store in the city,
Well-
maybe the shop owner could remember who bought it.
Well, at the bazaar the other day, I did run into a fabric dealer and have developed at least a friendly relationship with them. So I can ask around, especially if it's not them, who is supplying this type of fabric to in large quantities.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good lead.
I'll go with you. Actually, I have a few things I want to pick up before leaving the city.
Maybe look for
Fabric?
something defensive because although these robes might work, once we get in there, it's going to be increasingly hard to keep up the ruse.
Yes. Yeah, if there's any sort of some way to disguise ourselves so we don't look like ourselves since everybody seems to know who we are now.
I have a disguise kit of sorts. I could maybe paint your horns and I could maybe make some look like bruises or something to just sort of obscure us a little.
Okay.
Paint my
I can help. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at this, guys. Kid.
I could change our eye color to be that teal color.
Mm,
Because of prestidigitation, you can change eye color.
that would be great.
And maybe some health potions, some sort of healing, extra healing
We got a couple last time.
in case.
I can see if
I
we
still
can
have mine.
pick up more.
I think I have one. Do
You
we
got-
each
you
get? We each got one.
You got one.
Mhm.
You got one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you got one. Yeah.
Okay. And I guess anything else that just sounds like it might be useful.
Yeah, anything you might catch along the way.
Okay.
So we're doing this. We're just.
Are you gonna go towards the campsite with
How
Sledge?
will we find you?
I'll leave a trail.
I'll come with you.
Boy.
And then when we find a place, I can send a stink to find heroes.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right.
You two are going to get fabric.
And yeah,
Investigate and see
And
if there's a
talk to
lead
that-
about that.
we'll get some.
Shopkeep.
Yeah, we'll get some
We can head
Camp
to
goods
the
and
we can head
things.
to the market and see what sounds useful. Maybe the supplies will help shape the plan.
It's actually pretty insightful.
Good forward thinking.
All right. Positive thinking, everybody. Okay, let's go.
Well, guys, good luck. Hops.
Do we have any way for you to alert us if something bad happens to you outside the city?
Can I ask a quick question just about
Just
how Slink works?
Keep your shopping trip.
If I order Slink to stay with one of them, would Slink know where to find me?
But you could pull Slink to where you're at, right?
That's the question, I guess.
That's true. I mean, the way that it would work, Slink works similar. The way the item works is it basically grants you the Find Familiar ability, which gives you a specific type of limit on the familiar. But you can normally just banish or not decast.
Dismiss.
Yeah, dismiss like a summoned familiar and kind of resummon it where you are. So while if you can totally 100% allow Slink to like try to find you or come back to you. That would require rolls on Slink's part, or you can dismiss it and summon it back as needed. Each one has perks and benefits, and also has downsides. You can summon Slink back to you instantly, but you miss everything in between those 2 points. Or Slink can come back to you from point A to point B. That path has
there isn't
all
a
different
communication path that I have with Slink though.
It's 100. I forget the.
No, I know that I can go into Slink's eyes within 100 feet, but I'm thinking if I left Slink with, say, Tem and Harmony, whether if they indicate to Slink that they're ready to find me, can Slink let me know to dismiss or not? There's no communication that way.
No communication.
Okay.
Well, we can leave a trail from our original spot.
Well, I guess we would have like the point that we left the city to go to our old camp. So we could just meet.
You could meet Slink at the spot.
We could meet just outside. Oh, that's true.
So I leave Slink.
So
at the cave.
Nik-Nak Nik-Nak will go find a good camping hiding place. Slink will go with Nik-Nak and then go from the hiding place to where we left the city the first time and can lead us back.
Yeah, maybe not the cave, but just like the exit point from the city where it would be going up there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Nik-Nak and Sledge. I don't feel right him being isolated when he also has.
Yeah, we should all stay together.
As much as possible.
Well, that's true.
Well, we can split and get him out right away, and the others collect things. So who needs to shop? Fabric?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some stuff. You said market. For you both?
Yeah, we'll
do
go
one of
see
you
what's
wanna-
around.
Do the four of us want to go, or do we want one more person on Team Sledgehog?
Well, if we all stay together, then that makes it a little easier to meet back up. And Anara and Nik-Nak can
with Sledge
protect
as well,
Sledge.
I think we'll be okay.
Okay.
I'm going to take the key to the thing out and hand it to Tam and say, this should not be with us.
Yes, you're right. I'll keep it safe. I have my giant field researcher's pack that I'm just gonna wrap it in some fabric and stuff it deep down in there and on that.
Okay.
All right. Well, safe travels. We'll find you soon.
Yeah. Try to keep it under a couple hours.
Yeah,
we'll be as quick as possible. I know exactly where I'm going for the fabric.
I'll hand Zakkai 10 gold pieces and just say, some ink. Bottle, please.
I'll just give Basil 50.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you see any, loose metal, scrap.
You know the drill.
I'll keep out for the shiny.
All right. Splitting the party again. Split. A-okay with me.
Yeah, and on the way out, I'm going to keep a very close look behind us, checking constantly that we're not being followed at all. And that will.
I'll just follow very close to her footsteps.
Alright, in that case, I'll do 4 heading to the Ventureman's Marketplace first. By the time you get there, it takes a good, 20 minutes to, or 20 to 30 minutes to get your way through the city from the main circle of area to the Ventureman's Marketplace. By the time you get there, it is, like most marketplaces early in the morning, it's kind of like the Rose Bowl swap meet, where
I
it's just
still need
like
to go to that.
It's happening this weekend.
it is a kind of like sea of different tents and booths and kiosks and just little setups that just fill this massive empty space that kind of it's almost as if just like someone took a big rectangle of space out of the city just to make it a big empty rectangle for all these kind of shops and places to set up tents. It is even at this early in the day, bustling. It's buzzing with lots of people. So the 4 of you kind of step up to this sort of big entrance to this area. Are you all sticking together, or are you splitting off and going to individual stalls?
Maybe, do you want to stick together in case we see something that sparks an idea, and maybe we can bounce ideas off each other?
Sure.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah, we
When-
can just quickly move between things.
When I go to talk to the fabric merchant, it might be best if I approach, at least initially, alone to see what they might lead us down. You can be there, but just in case they feel uncomfortable.
Oh, were they kind of a skeptical sort
Well,
of
no,
person?
many people in the textile industry, it sounds strange, but might know each other beyond just in a business sense.
So by their work?
Like they're all related?
No, well, it's no secret that I am endowed with a certain amount of power. I've showed
I mean, you had big ears.
I thought that was going in a different direction.
a certain amount of power. I've shown some of
Yeah.
that now, and it's through a common friend that I share with many of these people that I'm able to do what I can and perform the magic that I am able to. So
Like how like warlocks and patrons, that type of
more
relationship?
more grand than that. Think on a
Cleric
Cosmic.
and deity?
celestial
Okay.
sort of scale. I mean, you were with me when we went to the temple, and that room that we entered was a shrine to my goddess, the goddess that not all, but most weavers, craftspeople, people who mend and unite might follow.
Okay.
That's not nice.
Yeah.
So it's more likely to get good information when it's just between you two because you
Well,
have that
A connection.
bond already.
I had introduced myself previously, but just
Okay.
trying to make sure that we don't scare them.
It's
No,
like only
that
2
makes
people
sense.
can be in a finger trap, so more people can't fit in.
We'll just browse
try hard
at the
enough,
next
yeah.
stall over while you talk to them. Maybe we do that first, and we'll kind of browse at whatever's right next door while
Yeah.
Tem speaks to the fabric.
I can absolutely, and I will get as much information as possible.
Alright, we'll do that first.
So then I'm sure I remember right where it is. I
You
would
do?
just head on over. I didn't get their name. I
An
just
elephant
have
never forgets.
I just have follower of Enya written down, so I
know
don't
he
think
should
I
have
got their
key
name.
time.
That's fantastic. 'Cause I
By default.
don't think I gave you one.
Okay, cool. Great. But I will. I'll approach. Is it when I walk up? Are there other customers around, or is it empty?
There's like 1 or 2 people that it's not like the busiest stall. There's a couple, like Looky-Loos just like browsing and feeling fabrics and stuff before they move to the next bolt, and then they move on. It's a very kind of like in and out situation that you can find a few moments probably where you're the only person there if you kind of linger around a bit.
I'll do so, and then when I see an opportune moment, I will approach. I believe it was a man. I can't remember who it
My
was.
notes.
I literally just have got red thread from follower of Emu.
Yes, indeed. Man kind of like sitting there on a stool, foot up on another stool, kind of mostly just watching people go by. But as soon as anyone diverts towards the stall, he kind of like sits up and stands up until somebody kind of comes in. As you do kind of get there, he does kind of like stand up, and there's a faint like, oh yeah, recognition before he kind of like, well, welcome back. Couldn't stay away.
No, greetings, brother. No, I couldn't. Your wares are so fine, and I was after some more material for my craft, and was hoping you could lead me in the right direction. I had some specific questions about some fabric that I found.
Well, I'll do my best. We've got what you see.
Mm-hmm. And I will pull out, I'll take the full thing out. I was like, maybe I should show him a little like sleeve, but I'm gonna take the full thing out and show him the bright yellow cultist robe. Do you recognize this fabric?
It's a captivating dye, but no, I can't say that I do. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Did you want to replicate it? We have something similar, not quite as banana yellow, but we've got a burnt sienna that might work. We've got a
maybe a yellow ochre.
As close as you could, that would be lovely. I would need probably about 2 bolts of it. Just trying to make some replicas of it. But are you sure you don't recognize it? Would you know of anyone else in the city who would sell a fabric like this?
Well, I mean, there's a few of us individuals. There are the larger shops, a lot of imported stuff, whatever. And then there's, the big ones. There's a down the block, a few blocks down, there's a Pashmina Textiles.
Pashmina, yes.
That old hag. Tam,
Just as bad as the cultist.
being very interconnected with the kind of this network of people and those that practice in this art form, Pashmina Textiles, you're very, very well aware of. A chain, very, very high-end chain that is kind of dotted throughout Elberin in different major cities. They specialize in heavy enchanted objects, usually reserved and price tagged for the elite and very wealthy. Most often than not, there's dresses designed to make whoever wears them look thin and beautiful, or jewelry that is enchanted to do this, that, or whatever. They specialize in enchanted clothing and or accessories. They're also notorious for being very kind of corporate in the sense that they will find the little guy and either buy them out or run them out. Pashmina has a very notorious reputation in the textile community.
Yeah, and just like a little like snort of derision out of Tem's trunk, and it's just like, no need to bother with them. I'm sure that
They have a bit of a monopoly on the textile industry in town. We try our best, and we kind of like gestures to his wares, like we get some good stuff, and I have my own, like my wife and I have a few seamsters that kind of weave together, and we have some of our own patterns and fabrics that we can muster together.
Yeah, well, that would be much appreciated. If you hear of anything about a large order coming through, or someone inquiring about
this, and he kind of like gestures and feels the robe again.
Yeah, you can tell by the weft here. It's clearly a natural material, but there's something odd about it, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's a little seems altered.
He kind of like also traces like the thumb down and gets to a part where there's like long dry, but that faint kind of teal stain at the hems, and kind of runs his hand over it. Well, it stains easily enough, you know that.
Yes, it's quite a distinctive color as well.
Like I said, can't say anything has come through here looking for anything like this, but I will keep an eye out and kind of like starts assembling different bolts to you to look at to at least start comparing.
Yeah.
None of them are an exact match. There's a few that are slightly more orange, slightly more like red, but he's able to get you a good from a distance, from like maybe 20 feet or more, looks closer to the same color.
Okay.
The closer you get, you can start to tell. It's like, oh, okay, this is clearly more,
Okay.
a bit more like this, a bit more
Yeah.
orange as opposed to like the
Yeah.
kind of lemon yellow that they have.
Okay, I will take the closest to true to color as possible, and yeah, like I probably won't need more than 2 bolts of fabric. I don't really know. I mean, we've got some small people too, so I can fashion some cloak / robes out of there, and yeah, I would just whenever you hear any news of people asking about this, feel free to leave a message at the temple and the shrine. And, just a little knot of thread. I still have your amber one, so. But much appreciated. How much do I owe you?
Well, for a follower of the Weft, just 2 gold should be fine.
And I'll hand him 4. And then, yeah, I guess just as I leave, I'll kind of like brush my hand across a couple of the fabrics, and I don't know if something magic and sparkly comes out of my hand, as I kind of just a little like, I don't know if he knows how connected I am to Emiya or not, but just kind of like a final like icing cherry on top to just be like, I'm in good on this. You should give me any info you can when you come across it, and then I'll head next door and grab up the rest of them.
So you kind of like leave and drag your hands across like the hems of different things, fabrics that are hanging there. All feels the same. No exuberant or flashy magic happens. But you are there enough to feel it, and as you kind of like drag those like big gray elephantine thumb across like the fabric, it just goes from being like coarse to silky smooth as you kind of like just trace your finger over that. And as you kind of like leave, you don't even need to turn back. You're confident enough because as soon as you kind of like turn and exit the stall, there are a few people kind of like walking by that like otherwise probably wouldn't ever even give this stall this time of day, but they stop and their heads sort of turn. And they duck in, they start to investigate. And there are a few other people that start to, almost as if the stall was invisible before, and now it's visible. But either way, there's a higher demand today than there usually is.
Take that, Pashmina.
Yeah. What stall is next door that we were like, yes.
It was a little homemade Nik-Nak and Chakshi kind of like stall. Where they have like, it's a lot of like small like individual like planter pots that are like painted to be a certain this or that. It's a lot of like homemade crafts kind of place right next door.
I don't want to put you on the spot. Does he have a name? I should have asked for that, just in case.
Yeah, absolutely he does. Hold on. Sorry. Benjamin's Marketplace. Fergus.
Fergus.
His name's Fergus.
Fergalicious.
Love Fergus. Thank you.
Next door, the Chachi stand.
I'm keeping my eye out for ink, and for any like herbalisty kind of stall stand.
Ink is fairly easy enough to find. There's a couple places that sell paper, not fabric, parchment, quill, stuff like that. So ink is not too difficult to find. You're able to get some like standard black ink if that's what you're looking for. Or do you want to surprise Anara with something?
I think she'd be mad if I started to surprise her.
That's fine.
I got you, green. No, I'll get her black.
Standard black ink. That'll run
Or
you.
do you use purple?
It's kind of like the tattoos are a mixture of like indigo and black.
Okay, if they have both, I'll buy both.
I'll say at the stop, you're able to find standard, simple black ink, fairly decent sized vial for a single gold, or there is that black indigo gold, or black indigo ink that you know Anara uses
It's like a one.
for 4 gold.
I'll get that one.
Only 10 gold's worth.
Okay, then I'll get 2 of the black indigo, and then I'll get 2 of the pure black.
Can I keep an eye out for if we're still at the star among any other stalls for like any like Feywild oddities shop?
Okay. Yeah, give me perception.
Okay, that is the definition of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the same result anyway.
Corrected itself.
22.
22.
Okay, I've now seen. We've all seen.
It happens.
Yeah.
Basil, as you're kind of like snooping around the stalls and different kind of tents here, so little and actually practically nothing stands out as Fey to you. And especially as someone who knows it so well, everything. We haven't addressed it too much, but being here in a city like this, it is a mix of confusing and boring a little bit to you, to a degree.
Yeah.
You're used to a place where the flowers sing to you every day, or that the roads change themselves when they feel like it, or when the trees attack you because they don't like what you're wearing. Here, none of that happens. The trees just stand still, and the flowers are boring. So, to some degree, it is a bit boring here. It's also a bit nicer. There aren't rabbits the size of, mountains trying to eat anybody. There's not, just people trying to make deals with you on the side of the road, trying to exchange your soul for something.
Yeah, it turns out the Feywild's crazy.
Yeah. So here, it's a bit different, but you're kind of keep an eye out for anything like that. Only once do you see anything even vaguely Fey, and you see it just through the crowd as you see someone kind of like holding their arm out, and then there's a series of like chained like either necklaces or jewelry kind of hanging off their arm as they're trying to like sell that to people going by. You recognize it as Pilka, the halfling individual that was that you came to when you first were looking for something to trade. As they kind of are like, as people kind of walk by and they're like, "Excuse me, miss, wouldn't you look fabulous in one of these?" I don't know nothing. Excuse me, sir, wouldn't your what lovely wife, one of your lovely wives want one of these? No? Okay, see you later. How about you? And you see them over there, and one of the medallions hanging off a chain has a very Fey vibe. You see it's like a star of interlocked, like connecting twigs that are all like kind of tied together in a weird like
sleigh face.
Sort of star shaped, but at the end of the chain.
Okay. As we're kind of like in that group, I will just kind of be like slowly like looking back over every now and again, and might just kind of like slowly link up over to Pilka as a common friend, and just be like,
Hey, excuse me, would you like to? Hey. I know you.
"Hi, Pilka.
I know you.
Yeah, it's Basil. I came with Nik-Nak the other day.
Yeah.
We were the delivery service."
Gotta work on your subtlety there, Mac. But all right, yeah, sure. What's got going on? You looking for a necklace for someone? That's what I got.
No, not a necklace. I actually, I actually have a necklace actually, and I pull out kind of out of my pocket a hagstone amulet, and I was like, I nicked this off a hag once, and I'm wondering if you can recognize or are familiar with it in any way, or can know where maybe it came from, or know anything about it. See if you can.
All right, hold on. I'll see what I can do with my magic here. Kind of pulls out. It's just like an old knotted kind of like piece of twine with several rocks and bones hanging off of it. The rocks are pockmarked and have holes in them. As he kind of like looks at it, investigates it, turns it over. My keen eye of deduction is able to ascertain that this once belonged to a hag, was stolen, presumably, by a Harangon individual.
You're just as smart as Nik-Nak.
At one point, it may or may not have crossed planes from one plane to another.
And
So
it
good
has
at
a vaguely grayish auburn color to it.
That's what that color is.
That'll be 15 gold.
Oh, but do you know who the name of a hag it came from? Maybe, or maybe like a spot.
I'm gonna say Doris.
Doris. Write that down.
Seems like a Dolores or Doris or someone with a hard DL. Yeah, that's sounding there.
How about 1 gold per letter? So 5 gold.
Yeah, seems fair.
Okay. Thanks.
Thanks, nice talking with you.
Got it. I slink back over with.
All right. Gentlemen, what you
Like
like?
very proudly. Like, got it.
So I'm looking at
Find
all the
something
little,
good.
Yeah.
kind of looking at the little pots and whatever, and like Tem, and then I'll just start looking around. Is there anything, any more of the kind of like clockworky technology type of stuff around, or like little trinket kind of things?
Yeah, make a perception check. Give me a perception check.
10.
Second. You do see that there are a couple places that boast having that like new technology, like brand new kind of stuff, and you get excited to it. A lot of it disappoints you because a lot of it is either like wind-up toys, tinker toys, clockwork kind of stuff like that. Eventually, you do get to a stall not too far away from where Tem is. Someone is like advertising they have a lot of kind of innovative new clockwork technology, and the only thing that leaps out at you is you see there is it's a small device, maybe about this big. It's like a solid rectangle, and there's a hole kind of cut out slightly to the side where you can kind of like hold your hand in. And it's on either end of it is a sharp kind of almost like a tip of a arrow on either end, and a spool of like cord in the middle.
Interesting.
And
Does
there
it
is
look
a-
like anything I have seen before?
No. There is a small gnomish woman who's kind of like in the middle of like kind of like fixing a pocket watch that's probably a commission or something, that she's like in the middle of that. One of those like kind of jeweler's lenses kind of on so she can see the small parts. But she's the attendant of
Okay.
the stall.
I'll kind of walk over that way and then. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, good morning. She kind of pops up off the stool and kind of sets the things down and takes the thing off. Anything I can help you with?
Well, yes, I just noticed across the market this device that you have. I'm just so curious to know what it is.
Yes, this is the Gap Closer 2000.
What does it do?
She kind of like holds it up and like presses a small trigger, and then both arrows shoot in both opposite directions and stick into that wall and stick into a wall behind her, and there's a cord that kind of like connects the two. And she like as the cords are stuck into place, she lets it go, and that thing kind of hangs there, and she pushes it, and it slides over, and she nudges it, slides back. It's effectively a sort of rudimentary zip line.
Yeah. That is ingenious. Is there any?
Thought of it myself when the bridge went out a few years ago. Some of us shorter folk, a bit difficult to get across a broken bridge, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
was just taking so long for them to fix it. I figured I'd solve the
Bureaucracy.
problem myself.
That's the best inventions are usually made that way. I have some questions. How long do the ropes extend?
Oh, they go in 50 feet in either direction.
Wow. Is there any magic power to it? How does the handle slide?
No, not magic stuff. This is entirely mechanical.
Could you get stuck in the middle though, or do you need, how?
I suppose it is possible. Ideally, you'd have a slight angle so you could just slide down, but
So it's kind of a one direction.
Oh, well, it will slide in either direction, but if you don't have enough momentum and the cord is long enough, there is I suppose, a small chance that you might get stuck in the handle.
I'm just thinking through. I have a couple friends, and I'm sure if we were.
Oh no! I wouldn't recommend all at once. It only supports about 300-400 pounds. I haven't fully tested the weight limit.
Oh, well, that was part of my question is if we wanted to if we were just camping and having fun and wanted to fly between some of the trees, say, one at a time, but then how would the next person get the handle back?
I suppose I don't know. So I've only ever just used it myself. Once you get the end, you hit the trigger, and it hits the trigger, and the cords retract, and both the arrows kind of snap back into it. I've only ever used it for myself. I haven't had that predicament before.
Well, I mean, it's still a great and handy invention to have. I was just more, I'm always thinking through the different scenarios that it might be useful in. Also, do I remember how much Tem weighs? Way more than 400 pounds?
No, I don't think.
Or no, were you
No,
not that
it's still
heavy?
like a
I think he said
creature.
like under 300, right?
Let me see.
He's a
I
very
might have made a
svelte
note of it.
elephant man.
Yeah. Speltiment.
I don't have a weight listed on here, but
Yeah, because I think we looked up like something over baby elephant or something like that.
yeah, I thought it was between like 250 and 300, but I
Okay,
can't
so
remember.
under 4, so he should fit. Okay. Well, I'm so impressed. How much does this cost?
Oh, well, I haven't had anything to compare it to be perfectly honest. I've just been charging 20 gold.
Wow. Okay. Let me see what my friends think, and if they, I can't imagine they wouldn't think that wouldn't be handy to have. Do you have any other inventions or anything?
Well, I will say that is the most impressive one. I have a few, just most of my other things right. I'll repair clocks and watches for those in town, or I'll make children's toys. This is just my sort of my piece de resistance.
Yes. Okay. Well, what was your name? I'm so sorry. I should have introduced myself. I'm Harmony.
That's a great question. Her name.
It's not me anymore. It's bad. I was like, no, wait, I need to know the man's name.
What?
Are you in a store or a stall?
I guess it's just a stall.
Okay.
The
They're
whole thing
all
is
ki-
kind
they're
of
all-
They're all stalling.
Open air
Great,
stalls,
great,
It's
great.
very open air. Gertie.
It's so nice to meet you, Gertie, and just wonderful inventions. I'm so impressed.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's good to have someone have an eye for detail. Everyone is so obsessed with magic all the time and using spells, and it's just so archaic, It's just the way of the past. This is the future.
And there are definitely some things that magic can't do. So it's good to have be
And it's so
prepared for
finicky and
anything.
difficult to control. It's just, oof. If you ask me, just magic is just old hat. It
was wonderful meeting you. I'm sure we'll be back to. I'll show. What was the thing called?
The Gap Closer 2000.
I will definitely mention your invention, the gap closer. Gonna make sure you trademark that. I will mention it to my friends. I'm sure they would also love to take a look at it, and I'm sure we'll be back over in a little while.
Well, I certainly hope so.
Okay.
So kind of goes back to her clockwork fixing.
And I just kind of turn back. I'm like, all right. And then where. Also, I guess if there's any stalls that are just kind of like, it's not like there's not going to be like armor, weapons, that kind of stuff, or like are there like spells like that? Is it mostly kind of little things?
It's mostly just like your kind of standard rudimentary citizens market. A lot less things like that. There are a few places that do sell. There's no like smith that will craft anything. But there are a few places that sell either used or older armor pieces, shields, a couple like smaller
stalls that will sell like weapons, very basic ones it seems to look like, but there's like a little bit of that.
What about explosives? Or like obviously not like this is a bomb, but like
I'm looking for herbalism-y
little
like
piece
stuff,
like
if
the components of something like that.
if there's a good ingredient shop around.
Yeah.
Let's say that there's
Like
more
a
scrap
grease,
metal around, yeah,
like
and
like
that's
thick
too.
grease that we could put on the end of an arrow
And light it on
to light it on fire.
That's fair. That's fair. Before answering that question,
Okay.
Check out some herb.
on the honor system, Kimmery,
Oh shoot.
do you think Harmony would know the ingredients to craft a bomb? If yes, then
Should talk to Nik-Nak before you left.
Basil.
Zakkai does not know.
Probably not any more than like than I would like. Probably just like a Molotov cocktail. Like anything more complex than that. Probably not.
But
Because
you,
I
Like a
don't.
stink bomb.
but yeah, you know,
Yeah.
like at least certain things.
You need something to. You need some. You need the fire, and you need something very flammable, and it should just explode.
Or you know those like toothpaste bomb like thing, like that chemical reaction thing.
No.
It's like, no,
No.
it's a thing.
No,
it's
Steven,
actually-
I don't know.
No, it's not actually like.
Okay, anarchist, go.
You mean like a C4 sort of putty thing?
Okay. Cut that part. Cut that part.
Yeah.
For the Patreon.
Yeah.
For the Patreon.
We will show you how to make it.
We are not teaching
Tell
anyone
your
how to
guys,
build bombs.
don't
That is
build your own
not.
bombs.
That is not what's happening here.
Strictly a fantasy scenario. Please do not build your own bombs out of toothpaste or otherwise. Give me a perception check. Harmony.
Okay. 11.
11. Give me another perception check real quick for something else.
Fucking A. 9. There's so many people around. I'm like trying to see past everybody.
The more you kind of like look, there are like a few stalls that only give you that sort of, oh, maybe this could work, and never any kind of like for sure thing. Unfortunately, there is not a stall that is offering explosives of any kind.
But really, I feel like that fits her naivety.
A bit.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's almost annoying where you know just enough that you know that you're not finding what you need.
Yeah.
It's that frustrating level of like, oh, I don't know what exactly I'm looking for, but I know it's not this.
Yeah. I probably then kind of find the rest of the group. Well, what have you guys been finding? There's a lot of
Big
stuff
bolts
here,
of
but
fabric.
not necessarily anything that seems very useful. There's a woman that had basically like a little kind of slide that you could attach, the rope to either end and slide along the rope, but we'd have no way for, one person to slide down and then to get the pulley back to the other end. It was a whole, I don't know.
Well, I ran into an old friend, Pilka, that Nik-Nak and I met the other day, and gave me some information about some Fae stuff, which is nice. He told me about someone named Dolores.
What?
Is that, is Dolores someone in the cult?
No, someone in the Feywild. It's I have an amulet that I nicked off her. That's trying to at least find, I guess, some way to get back into the Feywild. But just trying to get some information. So that's all I got so far. It's just a name.
You're trying to
not
find a
nothing.
way back to the Feywild?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Did you not mean to end up here?
Well, not necessarily, but I'm originally from the Feywild, and I got out, and I can't really get back in. It's kind of hard. And turns out, not being from your own home in the Feywild is kind of crazy out there. So
Maybe once, my school, Prismari, there's a lot of just kind of random portals, I suppose you could call them, that open to the Feywild. It's very random. I've been trying to study them as much as I can. It's obviously hard to tell when they're gonna appear, but they do appear. It's just an entry into the Feywild. Maybe
I hope to maybe like find some way to like track it down to like see if I can get some way to like, pinpoint to close to this person or something. But I don't know. But hoping to find something down the road.
Yeah, maybe we can start to research something about that. I am also interested in interplanar travel, so it's a pet project of mine, I guess. So I could take you to the library.
Sure. We could try.
And we could ask around. Yeah, we could ask people too. Guess we could talk to people about it.
We have a name to go off of, Dolores.
Tem's walking back up, like kind of like putting the bolts of fabric kind of stowed away, not trying to like show off the yellow color in case anyone like catches his eye, but says, I got some fabric. It's not an exact match, but it should be close enough, and I can doctor it up a little bit to make it look like the other robes. I can make one for each of us, but unfortunately, he didn't know or hear anything about people buying or trying to trade this specific type of fabric, so I'm not sure exactly where they're getting it from or who they're in dealings with. Maybe they make it themselves, but my connections here don't seem to be of too much use. And
okay. I didn't really find anything yet either. I don't know. There's a lot of things here. I guess I kind of thought we would just be able to go to the market and just buy a trap, an explosive arrow,
what?
A spell scroll,
That's
defensive armor. I
This
thought it'd be a little
this
easier to
This
find.
isn't the student supply store at school.
Well, I have been shopping before in the city, but
most markets are for civilians, so.
well, civilians need fire and
Small
ammunition.
folk of cities and nations are just looking to get their daily bread and make sure that they have what they need to not die.
Well, maybe we need a different area of town then.
I came across one alchemist tent that had the potions that I got earlier, but that's the closest that I've seen to an all-out magic store. There is a Pashmina's textiles here, but I won't step foot in that place.
Do they create textiles?
If you can call it that.
I don't even know what textiles are, to be honest, but
I mean, Pashmina's is
that just
high quality.
It's
is textiles
about as
separate?
far away
Not the
from
same thing?
craft.
Okay.
It's about as far away from craft and talent as you can get. But that's just me and my bias, I guess. It's whatever. They don't have any spirit or originality.
Tell us how you really feel, Tem.
As Tem
goes on a rant.
We'll walk and talk and go to the alchemist den.
Yeah. Oh, I want to say, I wanted to have tried to find the herbalist stall, maybe privately, while everyone else was kind of split off.
Sure. While, in that case, Harmony's investigating, Tem is negotiating, and Basil is hunting down Dolores. Also, you kind of like all wandering a little bit, just slightly away from the stalls, a bit further down. Give me a perception check.
That is a 13.
13. There are a couple. There are a couple of shops or stalls that have plants or they're selling, vials, this, that, or whatever. A lot of them are perfumers, or there are a few that are selling what they boast are potions, and usually you get there and then you kind of are looking at them. They're potions in the sense that like it's like this is a miracle hair grow kind of like thing. It's definitely gonna bring back your hair for those balding folks. And it's like, oh, this is definitely gonna give you like whiter teeth if you rinse your mouth with it every day. What Listerine is a potion to us. It's those kind of potion shops.
I see, but no ingredients sort of areas, like no like stalls with like, oh, I'm selling bundles of, I don't know, whatever.
There are definitely more kind of, there are places that are selling, ingredients, so to speak, in the terms of like leaves for this sort of tea, or there are ingredients per se.
Okay, but would these ingredients be fairly like common, run-of-the-mill stuff? Is there anything that looks a little bit more exotic, a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more like interesting?
For the most part, pretty mundane and pretty safe, normal, or things that you don't even recognize, if only because they're so mundane.
Mm-hmm.
You are way more adept at seeking and finding out things that are potentially dangerous.
Yeah.
Give me... Actually, 1 second. Give me another perception check.
That one was a 22.
22. There's a stall that you see that has more kind of, they seem to be selling like bundles of dried kind of like herbs, or like just bundles of either like half-dried kind of twigs and sticks that have been like bound up together, dried flowers that are sort of like hanging from the ceiling. There are a couple of them that you do recognize in terms of like the dried plants that you're like, oh, that's, or at least was at one point, poison ivy or poison oak or whatnot, and you do recognize that, and you sort of like follow that. The 22 delves you a little bit deeper, and you end up kind of at some point you find yourself pushing through these like dried plants and stuff that are hanging from the ceiling, and you kind of move back. You see there is the proprietor of that stall, a woman, middle-aged, kind of hair tied back in a messy bun, very kind of like dirty, like fresh out of the garden, kind of like dirt-stained clothes.
Yeah.
And she's there, and you see that she's like pushing a couple like just powdered like piles on like a table in front of her, and just like sorting them into little like a wooden like device that has different stalls that separate them. She's just separating to probably measure them or whatnot. I will say with 22, you recognize this kind of brown powder as Sutara.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna walk up to the stall.
It's just like kind of like pushing the things into little casings, and as soon as you kind of like move into the stall, she'll like will set it aside and takes like a washcloth and kind of just like drapes it over it, and kind of like doesn't acknowledges you in the sense that she'll like kind of make eye contact and watch. Otherwise, she just kind of lets you peruse, but she'll just kind of sit there and watch.
While every once in a while I keep my eye on her, I'm gonna look around to see if there's anything I could use to make poisons. So I'm gonna shop around through any of the dry ingredients or the powdered ingredients, etc. Anything I recognize that I could purchase.
I'll say there's a couple things that you recognize that you might be able to turn into functioning poison.
Okay, then I'll pick up some of that. I don't know the cost of these things. Like how much ingredient for how much poison, etc.
She'll tell you.
1 gold, 1 poison.
How much of this? I will go up to her. Hi, friend. How much of this will make a poison?
Yeah,
Bottle that big. I'll say it in Thieves' Cant.
Oh, okay.
Look at you. Like these can.
I love that joke. It ever olds me. You'll ask that, and she kind of like, you notice the shoulders drop like half an inch as there's a bit of a relaxation there. And she kind of like looks over what you got in your hands, and she kind of like points up to a small bundle. She's like, switch that one out with that one. It'll be fine.
All right.
About that much?
Yeah.
You'll need 3/4 of that. About 10 gold for the batch.
All right. Deal.
Kind of reaches over and slides, takes the coins and kind of pushes them over, slides them underneath that same washcloth, and just kind of sits in, is just kind of like waiting for you to leave now. Not being, pushy or rude or anything, but she's like, all right, transaction is done.
Got a interesting stock here. I don't see a lot of these wares in this area. Where's your supplier from? If that's not too nosy.
Forge a lot of it myself. Have a few other runners to get them more safe things.
Safe things?
The safe things.
I don't know if I would describe it all as safe.
Safer things.
How often does your runners come through?
Maybe a few weeks.
When was the last shipment?
About a week and a half ago.
Do they bring a lot of different things, or is a lot of the same material that's here?
I usually order the same stuff. Every once in a while they'll come with something unique.
Huh. Anything especially interesting recently?
Yes, but you'll have to come back. It's not quite ready.
When can I come back?
You like kind of watch as her eyes like dart down to the washcloth and back up to you. 3 days.
All right, I'll see you then.
So like
Good day,
watches
friend.
you leave before turning back and going back to your stuff.
Yeah, I'll have rejoined everyone by the time that everyone kind of came back together.
Well, do you know how to make an explosive?
I've never made one before.
See, Zakkai hasn't either.
Nik-Nak won't
You would
teach
think
me.
that he would have, but he hasn't.
Well,
it's not just me.
I had a friend back home who would do it if I ever needed one.
And Basil is right. The person we should be asking is Nik-Nak, not
I messed it up once and he won't teach me.
What did you make?
I don't want to talk about it. I tried to make a carrot bomb.
Speaking
I
of,
think there's something.
The carrot cannon.
speaking of, Anara and Nik-Nak, you've spent most of this morning and winding your way through the streets, kind of getting out to the city, back to where you kind of came from before. Unless there was anything specific you wanted to do on your way out of the city.
You?
Just keeping an eye out for cultists.
Same.
Cultists and kobolds.
As we're heading out of the exit of the city, like before, that heads toward the lighthouse. I do want to keep an eye out for sewer entrances in that part of the city.
Okay, excellent. Give me a perception check, and Nik-Nak, give me a sleight of hand check.
It's like the third one that was that fault all day. My God.
Is that comp or is that okay?
No, I think it's okay. Yeah.
That is 23.
23.
14.
14. With a 14 sleight of hand check, Nik-Nak, you're able to, every once in a while, little claws dip into a pocket and you get like a thimble. Oh, that's good. This next one you see like, oh, you're walking by, again, this city is expanding constantly, so you're walking by a building that has a lot of scaffolding and builders on the outside, and there's a hammer that someone's kind of left down on the ground.
Mine now.
There's another part of the city has, again, more scaffolding, a lot of rebar and piping kind of on the ground. A lot of it too big or heavy, but there are sort of smaller, like kind of like L-shaped brackets or pipes or whatever. All go in the bag.
Nice.
Anara, kind of keenly looking out for it, and you kind of like dart around towards like the ground level of the streets. There are a few storm drain kind of runoffs that on the curb of each street. Every once in a while, you'll see one. Maybe every like 4 or 5 blocks, there is essentially like a manhole in the middle of like the street that clearly has like sewer access. There are also every once in a while there's sort of like communal, further along in technology as opposed to like a well, but there's an area with like large water pumps that people can come to and fill tanks and what they need to, which you also imagine could lead to the sewer. Perhaps not as easier as direct entrance, but that could possibly be one. There are the manhole covers, which don't seem to be sealed in any way. They're just kind of like our manhole covers, where they just, if you have the equipment or strength to get in there, then you can. And then there are these storm drains, which you imagine would be a very, very tight fit for anyone but Nik-Nak.
And they're like every block also. And as we approach the edge of the city where we left before, about how far from the city is the bluff with the lighthouse on it? About how far away from the city itself?
A few 100 feet, probably.
That close, like just hundreds of feet from the city.
No, slightly further out, only because it feasibly needs to have been like at one point to have function as a lighthouse.
Right.
Will have needed to be on that cliff. So probably a good, like 20-30 minute walk outside of the city. So, yeah, not like a full mile perhaps, but maybe half.
Half a mile. Okay. Slow walkers. Just thinking the basement area of the lighthouse had the sewer pipe that went directly inside. I wondered there may be another way in for when we eventually wanted to infiltrate.
It's probably a better idea than going through the front door again.
This is what I was thinking. Do you want to take a quick detour down to the coast? Take a quick look?
Just like look up at the sun and see how long it's been. Mm-hmm. Sure. Gotta be careful though.
Yeah. I don't mean up near the lighthouse. I just mean here near the city to see if there's any spot where we can perhaps access the sewers.
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to take a look?
Maybe we shoot both.
All right.
Sure.
So yeah, we want to sort of head down toward the dock area near the edge of the city and see if we can kind of get down close to where the ocean is and look for any sewer outlet points there.
Yeah. Each you give me investigation checks.
Ooh. 24.
Oh.
It's a natural 20.
Oh.
For a total of 20.
Oh man.
I thought it was your total 19.
So good at finding sewers.
That was what my intimidation check was. For a total of 19.
Getting down to the edge of the docks and kind of like the edge of the city, essentially, where you're kind of just like looking up at it as it climbs up the shoreline. Towards the end, there's not anything that you can kind of see as a direct entrance in the dock per se. However, with an natural 20, you do see a bit. You can from this angle and towards the docks, looking up at the city. You can easily see the edges of the city, and being at the dock. Kind of up to the left is that cliff with the lighthouse kind of on it. If you kind of follow the cliff down to where the cliff meets the sea, there are 2 or 3 large, maybe 10-foot in diameter, kind of like pipes that kind of stick out of the rock, and they're barred, it looks like, but is pouring wastewater, sewage, whatever it might be, from the sewer system out into the ocean.
That may be a way in.
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely connected to the lighthouse. I mean, it's right below it.
Right. let's do what we came to do and
Sure.
find a safe spot
Sure.
out of the city.
Sounds good.
Another quick check around to make sure we're not being followed. And we'll head. I guess we'll just head.
Like to the above where the bluff is, and then out a little bit into
I think we want to stay quite a ways away from the
From the
end of
original.
route directly.
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the, We don't want to get caught or
Right.
seen by anyone.
return to the scene. of
So
it.
yeah, we'll sort of head away from the lighthouse,
Yeah.
away from the city, and also away from the lighthouse, but sort of diagonally, I guess, at an angle. If the city's here and the lighthouse is here, we'll head like that way.
You wanted to leave Slink, was it?
I figured I would send him back to the gate
Oh,
once we have a location, and
okay.
they can
Oh.
direct everyone else to find us.
Sure.
I'm not sure you'll be able to just find us.
Yeah.
He's not very bright.
So
Follows instructions.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll head. How far away? A couple miles?
I don't know if I want to go that far. Maybe like just far enough so that we're maybe like outside the skyline view of the city, not like too far out.
What did we think the range was on that spell?
The locate objects?
Yes, when you
It's not very far.
animate object.
It's not very far as I remember, as far as things. But it seemed like they had a lot of people moving.
Yeah.
That's why getting out of the city was an important thing. But I think a couple 100 feet ought to do it.
Okay. We will
Start looking for
looking for
a ditch or something.
Yeah.
a decent kind of secluded
Yeah.
area.
Each of you make a survival check, or one of you can do it with advantage.
I'll defer to you on this one.
Probably not a good idea.
No, no.
13.
13. Okay.
Actually, you don't even know what mine is.
At one point, you're sort of looking for a nice secluded place to kind of set up camp. There's plenty of kind of trees and brush out. There's mostly grasslands that kind of surround the outside of the inland part of beyond Port Elsewhere. But you're just sort of just walking around in the woods trying to find a place, an item, or not an item, a place or secure location to kind of set up a miniature base.
Where we can keep a lookout, where we're far enough away from the lighthouse and the city that we think we're out of range of these kind of
Sentry
spying
things, yeah.
spells. But Anara doesn't really know about them, but Nik-Nak understands the magic better.
Eventually, kind of with Nik-Nak's guidance, are able to kind of at least get outside the city far enough that you're both fairly confident that you're fairly confident that they could not track you physically here. You're fairly confident they could not magically get you here, at least in the spell that you know that they've been using. Otherwise, you have quite a bit of time before your allies come back from the market. So how do you spend your time?
I will activate Slink, and listen very carefully, Slink.
What form is Slink in?
Until I re-tattoo her, it's that same
octopus
sort
squiddy
of,
kind of thing?
squid type of
Forest squid.
yeah. Slinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Remember when we came out of the city? Look back there. And wait till you see friends. Bring them here. Got it?
You watch this blob of ink start to crawl its way under the underbrush and kind of vanish for a moment.
So,
I guess we wait for them to be done.
Yeah.
Supplies. What do you think they'll come back with?
I don't know. I mean, maybe some scrolls or Well, hopefully a bomb. I know that Harmony was looking for explosives.
Yeah.
They were at least the
They just sell
materials.
bombs in the city.
Well, maybe they might sell the materials. I don't know.
Do you know how to make a bomb?
Sure. Yeah.
A kit as well. Though.
Yeah. It's just, you know,
acids and
certain powders. And,
powders.
yeah. You need fuse. Try to
One of us
explain
should
it.
have gone with them.
Yeah, maybe.
We all should have swapped. I'm sure they'll be. I mean, I trust them.
Yeah. And, you know, they've been shopping before in the district, so they probably know
Yeah.
what to get.
They're city dwellers.
Yeah. You're not a city dweller.
I'm from a very small village.
Huh.
Yeah,
Where about?
in the Republic.
Oh. Okay.
You?
Well, you know, tunnels originally. Yeah.
Near here?
We're somewhere around the Scorched Plains area, you know.
Oh, that's a long way away.
Yeah. I left there a long ago, so haven't been back in a while. Yeah.
Is it you looking or traveling for a reason? I mean, we all sort of found each other in that furore of the train fight, and since then we've just been running from place to place, and I don't even really know what we're doing.
Neither do I.
People are bad, and thank you for agreeing that the distasteful thing was the right thing.
Oh.
Back in the alleyway.
Well, you know, first of all, thank you for doing the deed, but it's one of those things where it's not ideal, but it had to be done.
It's like we are in the middle of a fight. Nobody thinks twice about it.
Right.
It just seems so different if it's done deliberately and carefully and coldly.
Right. It's
But if it's part of the code, it's not as bad as people think.
I think the not having much of a choice part is the bad thing.
Yeah. No. It's a good point.
But it's conflict, and at the end of the day, you have to do what you have to do. Have you ever had to do that before?
The place where I learned my craft, deal with it all the time. It's a small monastery back in the Republic. The disanimation, entropy versus order. This is what they teach us.
Gotta be honest, Anara, that's kind of weird and creepy. But it seems useful and effective.
Sometimes the path that you follow only becomes clear when you make steps on it. You know?
Yeah,
Purpose.
I can relate to that.
I came to Port Elsewhere with a purpose, and even though since I've been there, that purpose has not been primary, I believe that by taking steps, it becomes closer. That is what I was taught.
You know, sometimes when you start out building something, inventing something, you find that through the process of creating what you originally meant to create, you create something entirely different, but even better.
I glance over at Sledge.
Sledge is in the moment, and while you're having this topic, he's holding two little rocks in each hand and just.
You created this. What? Is it alive?
No,
Is it,
I'm.
animate but ordered.
It's
Machine magic.
yeah. It's difficult to say. I mean, he's not like a he's not like a. Soul forged.
What is this?
He's he's a construct that I originally created to help me create things.
Did he turn out the way you wanted?
Oh, yes, he's...
You ask that, and Sledgehog, the eyes kind of go over.
Yes, of course, Sledge. You're perfect. You're my best invention I've ever made.
Very effective.
He originally was meant to be my assistant to help me tinker and create artifice, but
And this device you use to make explosions.
oh, this.
Is it intended that when it pushes the enemy back that you also go retreat?
That was an unfortunate byproduct of the creation.
This is what you mean with the...
Exactly.
You tend to create something good. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
This is my second best creation.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to create something that had oomph, but I put too much into it, and so if I
It's very, very effective.
yeah, it's it can really do some damage, and so can Sledge. Although, when I started creating things, it wasn't really intended to be weapons, but like you said, you go down a path, and sometimes you need to change your outlook.
I was taught many things at the monastery, but most of them weapons.
Do they have tinkerers? Anyone making anything there?
No, herbs, spices, spirit magic of a sort, an essence of life. I'm not familiar with what we call machine magic.
Oh, it's really, really interesting. Artifice is my life. I've always loved it, but it really, I think, needs to marry with magic for it to be
Yes.
perfect.
Artifice, arcana.
Yes, exactly.
There's a line to draw between them.
They bridge the gap of innovation. It's really a wonderful thing. Your home, do you ever want to go back?
You see, when you mention home, a look, kind of a blank, haunted look comes across her eyes a bit, and not yet. There's something I must do before I can go back.
I know how you feel.
You don't want to go home, or?
I have to. But I can't yet. There's also something I have to do. But I must go back.
Well, once you have done this thing?
Yes. Although, it may take some time.
Same. I don't even actually know particularly where to start other than the end of the train line. It's just where things move through ports. And it's just my only lead.
Yeah. Me and Hops, we came here on a sort of task that we were placed with from a sort of organization that we've been associated with, and we finished that, and I don't think there's any hard deadlines that we have to hit, but we have to finish that.
It's not finished yet?
Well, we have to go back and report what we found. But I think what we should do now is just tackle the thing at hand. That lighthouse, we gotta take it down.
Bad things were happening in there.
We can't let the people of this town succumb to this sort of corruption.
No. Bad enough to have to deal with one innocent. As of yesterday, an innocent. How has this been going on for so long here?
I don't know. I mean, building that underground complex must have taken
A long time.
a long time.
This is why I don't think the constables are a good source of help.
No. Authority figures, they're too hungry for power to care. They can keep the order, but as soon as it gets too chaotic, they'll just turn a blind eye.
Did you see they were going to question Harmony just because she was at the station?
Mm-hmm. But they weren't even able to move forward with that. It doesn't seem like they care.
So it is up to this new group of friends?
I mean, they seem capable of. I definitely would have them on my side.
Definitely. Especially that big one.
Yeah. He's actually been really helpful for me. He's been protecting me half the time we've been in the city.
Yeah, gentle, but don't want to get on the wrong side.
Yeah. How's Zakkai? What do you think of him? Seems like you have been traveling with him for a little bit.
We met on the road about a month ago and discovered we were going the same way, and the road is dangerous, as you know, and he's competent.
Good.
A little distractible sometimes. Rush off and a little bit like you with your pieces of metal.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
But he manipulates the wood.
You say pieces of metal and Sledgehog. The eyes.
No, there's none out here. It's just wood. Sorry, Sledge.
But yes, and I guess it was meant to be that following him to the train, which I did not come to Port Esper for the train, but he wanted to see it. So that's what brought us there. He's good. I trust him.
And I can vouch for Basil as well. He's we've been working together for a while. He's excitable and he loves to eat, but he's very strong. I mean, he's practically my bodyguard most of the time.
Wow, you have Sludge. You have Basil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we need to keep things safe.
Yeah.
With this weird device.
I know. I don't want it to be in Sledge any longer than it has to.
There's a moment where you say that and you kind of like drift over to Sledge. You're still smacking rocks together. But you know that like inside that kind of foldable area, there's that box just kind of sitting inside of him. And the longer you think about it being there, the less you kind of want it there. At first you're like, oh, well, 100% you have to have this thing. But now the more that you think about it, the more that you've seen, and the more that what might be here, the more you want it out of Sledgehog, because you don't know how dangerous it could be.
Mm-hmm.
It probably is. And you'll find out next time when we come back. The next episode of Tales Here. Everybody, well done. Doing some prep, making some homemade bombs, buying fabric for making robes. Your typical day.
Diverse activities.
Thank you guys so much for joining us for this episode of TOT, and we will be back next time. Can't wait to see you there.
Bye.